the PipeBomb podcast with my buddy Steve down below and my buddy
Hello.
Jace over here from Not Suitable for Mom.
Hello!
How are you doing tonight, Jace?
All good? All ready to go? Ready for the weekend?
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Wrestlemania weekend. That is what we are here to talk about. And a few little other things. Steve, how are you doing tonight?
WrestleMania weekend, huh?
Nope. Are you excited?
Eh.
I don't know if I'll stay up for this one, but we'll see.
There's a couple matches
Yeah.
that we've all agreed we kind of want to see and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So what we're going to do first here tonight, first off, is we're going to do our WrestleMania predictions. Blah, 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 predictions. Yeah. And then we're going to do NXT predictions. We'll talk about all that. We'll talk about the Hall of Fame and everything else tonight. So anybody in the chat that may have something to say, whatever, give us a shout.
Yes,
Tell
please.
us what your predictions might
Come on. Come
Yeah.
on.
be. Come at me. Yeah. Come at me. Bring it in. All right.
Yeah.
So, all right. So first, Jace does the points. If you could let us know what the
Yeah.
points are up to date. Now, Steve is not necessarily part of that because we usually do it with Rach and Jimmy. And Jimmy right now is unwell. So I'm taking over as host for a little while. And so on my end, Steve has 8 points.
He got 8. Well, yeah, I mean, are you doing all the shows between you?
This was, or was this just for the AEW? Yeah, that was just.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay.
So that's 8 points for Steve so far. But anyways,
Okay.
for Rach, myself, you, and Jimmy, what are our points, or did Jimmy?
Well, obviously Jimmy's not participating at the moment.
Okay.
Some good news, right? I'm sure he won't mind me saying, but he is due to see somebody next month for a consultation. So
yay.
hopefully, not long after that, it gets something actually done.
Yeah, well, we're praying for you, Jimmy.
Yep.
Definitely hope that gets done soon.
And obviously, shout out to Rach for not being able to join us tonight. She's not feeling very well either.
Yeah.
But
sorry. Yeah, Rach,
basically-
she's our legendary news. She knows
is.
everything about wrestling. So, Rach, please feel better soon.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, for those guys that haven't been paying attention, the ones we're doing at the moment are the main 4 big ones. So that's Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and I believe Survivor Series.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So at the moment, obviously, all we've got is scores for Royal Rumble, and nobody did very well, I'm afraid to say. Vicky, you got 1.
Yep. Kind of figured it.
Yeah. But not to worry, because me and Rach only got 2.
Oh, wow. There you go.
So, yeah, it was quite an unpredictable pay-per-view, that one.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this weekend will be a difference. Yes, Steve.
I wasn't part of the predictions for that, but you heard my prediction for that. And I did choose Seth to win in the Rumble, if I remember right.
Yeah, I think you would have got about 3, mate, if I remember correctly. I wouldn't swear to that, but I think you would have done.
So Seth might have won by DQ, but he won. So
yeah, well, that's it. I think that's where one of our boys, me and Vicky got more points. Me and Rach got more points than Vicky, because I think that's what we predicted.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know exactly what was going on.
Yeah, it was all up in the air. So yeah,
I'll never get a rematch though.
So we look forward to Rach's predictions.
Yeah.
But so we're gonna do night 1 first, then we'll do night 2. But yeah, it's a full weekend of wrestling. We've got tonight. I think it starts at 7 or 8. Not too sure, but the Hall of Fame show is on tonight. So if you get Peacock or you have the network, WrestleMania Network, you can watch the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Right after SmackDown,
Yep.
And so that'll be going on. And we'll be talking about that later on in the podcast. Also, tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is going to be the Stand and Deliver NXT pay-per-view, which we'll be doing our predictions for that later. And also, I have a little bit of news. It's just some little short stuff and whatever. So this podcast probably won't be too long, but I do want to spend a bit of time on the Hall of Fame, which I've already talked to Jason about and Steve about beforehand.
It's quite a monumental one this year, so yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I wanted to kind of pay a little bit more attention to it. So you guys will see that, and we look forward to your opinions and everything else in the chat. So yeah. Okay. So we're going to get to the predictions right away. There is a 2-hour preview show or kickoff show, as WWE calls it. It'll be starting at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be the actual start of WrestleMania Night 1.
Yep.
So I have the matches written down here. They're not in any particular order. So we'll just kind of go back and forth. It'll go me, Jay, Steve for each prediction. So the first match we have is Drew McIntyre and Happy Corbin. Now, I'm kind of sick of this matchup between him, Happy Corbin, and whatever the funny guy's name is. Anyways.
Madcap Moss.
Yeah, I know.
But for the bloke who's supposed to be funny but isn't really.
Yeah, exactly. So, and he's making a lot of jokes at Corbin's expense right now, so I can see them slowly breaking up that partnership.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay, Rach. How are you, sweetie? Bad ear infection. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry.
So I know what she got?
Ear infection. Bad ear.
Oh,
infection.
No, that sucks. I hate that.
Yeah, I've had bad ear infection. I got a little bit of one in my right ear right now, and I feel like I'm talking inside my head. So if I get a little bit loud, let me know.
I do that all the time. So.
Yeah, I hope you feel better soon, sweetie. Ear infections are no fun. But yeah, so our first match is Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin. So, Jace, we'll go with your prediction first.
Does anyone really give a monkeys, to be honest? Sorry. Hang on, I've got to write this down. Drew versus Happy. I mean...
Happy. Sorry.
If Corbin couldn't suckle worse than he already did, they gave him this stupid Happy Corbin gimmick, right? I'd have much rather he stayed as he was. I'm just gonna say Drew flat out because, as you say, if this thing between Drew and Madcap is coming to an end, then it makes sense for Drew to be the one to sort of like throw the spanner in the works, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's got a big sort of sword as well, so that helps.
Yeah. Rach, feel free to put your predictions in the chat. I do have everything written down, so I'll make sure to let Jason know who you choose. So Jason's choosing Drew McIntyre just because we really don't like Corbin. We're tired of seeing this whole matchup. So
yeah.
Steve, what is your prediction for this match?
You don't like Corbin.
No.
But my boy Corbin's gonna lose, but let me tell you something. This whole storyline, I know we're tired of it. Really, I hate to say it's the fans' fault for the storyline, and I'll tell you why. They had Drew in the title picture over and over again for the last 2.5 years, and fans are like, "We're tired of seeing Drew, fight for the title. Let somebody else go." So now they gave Corbin and Drew this new storyline. And now fans are like, I'm tired of Drew. He should go for the title. Well, you get what you asked for, unfortunately. And now they're stuck in this storyline that really... I mean, at least it's not Madcap Moss again. I mean, at least it's actually Corbin this time.
Yeah.
But knowing WWE, who knows? Maybe they might switch to Madcap again last minute like they did last time.
I would like to see Moss just be Riddick Moss.
Yep.
Well, there's WWE. His name will be Moss soon enough, just Moss. But either way, I'm going with Drew. Because they keep going with Happy Corbin's undefeated, and no one's ever kicked out of the end of days, and I'm sure that might stay because I doubt he's ever even going to hit the end of days.
Yeah.
That's I don't know. Yeah, Drew's going to win. It's going to be probably a match where I'm just kind of vibing and just hanging out talking to you the whole time, Vicky.
Yeah, no, that's right.
I'll probably be sitting there playing the game or something during that match, so.
Yeah. No, I hear you. And this is the thing. This is where fans are kind of stuck in a rut because it's matches like this that make us like, great. Okay, these better be kickoff show matches because we're not really that interested in it.
No.
Okay, so the next one I've got written down. Oh, and my prediction, Jace, is for Drew McIntyre as well.
Okay.
All right. So
Here we go.
the next match is the Usos versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs. So I love the Usos, and the fact that they're putting them with Shinsuke, I get it, but not Rick Boogs, because Rick Boogs is still kind of bottom level in my my prediction. So I'm gonna go to Jay first. But hey, Mark, how's it going, sweetheart? I hope you're good.
Buddy, long time no see.
So Jace, your prediction for this match?
Okay. I said this a while back.
Yeah.
This is the first time that Usos have had a title match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
It's never happened before.
Yeah.
Right? It's always the New Day got in, or something happened, one of them got injured, or there's always some sort of complication. Exactly. It would be a crying shame if they did not give the Usos this match. Right? I like the dynamic of Boogs and Shinsuke. I think it works. Boogs is he's at the bottom, but people do like him.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Usos just because I think they deserve it.
Okay. All right. So Jace is going with the Usos.
Usos.
Steve, what is your prediction for this?
Well, the bloodline's still staying strong. And Rick Boogs is more of a comedy character. I mean, he's strong. He's crazy. He's got some good moves, but
yeah.
As for, he's not the one that I'm concerned about in the tag team. It's the way WWE's treated Japanese wrestlers in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I just don't see them get. I mean, the Shinsuke was Intercontinental Champion for 7 months or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And we completely forgot he even had the title. Because there came to a point where he wouldn't even come out with it because there's no point.
But they fired so many people.
And if you remember, Asuka was tag champs and she was the women's champ at the same time, and we didn't even know that. We forgot. We're like, who's the women's champ? I look it up.
Yeah.
It was Asuka at the time. So seeing that and seeing how the bloodline is, there's no way in my mind that the Usos could lose yet.
Yeah.
At least not to this team.
Yeah. Exactly.
No one WWE will probably be to the Usos later on the line, but for now, I don't see Rick Boogs and Shinsuke taking it.
Okay, so you're going with the Usos as well?
Yeah, thank you, Rachel. I've got your thing for the Jew match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Usos.
Okay. Steve is going with the Usos as well. And
which I am fond of, very much so, as we know.
Yeah. And we love the Usos ever since they debuted as like the tribal Usos. I've loved them. They've been one of the best tag teams besides the Bar since they came here to WWE, and they've never disappointed me in a match, especially like when they did the cage match with the New Day. That was phenomenal. Love the match, right? But anyways, okay, so Jace and Steve have gone with the Usos. I'm going to go right along with you guys, and I'm sure Rach probably will too, but I'm going to go with the Usos as well, simply for the fact that I agree with Steve. The Usos never have had a WrestleMania moment, as Jay said, and this is kind of the stage for them to win. And Shinsuke and Rick Boogs, like I said, have been a tag team for a while, but to me, not tag team championship material yet.
No.
So, yeah. So that is that, and we'll wait for Rach to. Well, I'll continue, and you can see the chat, Jace.
Yeah, that's right. I've got it up here, so it's not a problem.
Awesome. Okay, so you'll see when she predicts. Yeah. So good job on that. She picks Drew as well.
She could always let me, if not, she could always let me know later anyway. It's not a major issue.
Yeah, depending on how she's feeling. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so the next match I have written down is the New Day, which is going to be Kofi and Xavier, because we all know Big E is out right now. Get well soon, Big E, please.
Definitely. Yeah.
And Sheamus versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland. Ridge Holland being the guy who injured Big E in the first place. And I bet he feels bad, so I hate to say it that way, but
yeah.
It's not the first one,
Yeah, okay. Going to be a bit of a difficult one, this one. It's a shame that Pete Dunne's not featured.
Yeah.
But, hey ho. Maybe you know something I don't. You'll tell me soon enough. Yeah, as far as I know, Ridge was generally very, very upset about what happened with Big E.
Yeah.
Right, legitimately. It wasn't just done for the sake of storyline. So, yeah. And from what I understand, he's actually quite a nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. But aside from that, into the storyline. Neither of the teams are really sort of doing anything much. They're all sort of, because Xavier's only just come back, hasn't he?
Right.
Yeah.
And the whole thing with Sheamus and Ridge and Pete, I'm not really feeling it.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. It's so they're both sort of midway between, and I don't know whether this is building into more of a feud or what.
Okay.
Oh crikey, that's a really tough one. I'm probably going to regret it, but I'm going to say New Day.
Okay, so Jace is going with the New Day. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Jace. They're new, and I figure we never want the new guy to win, technically, right? But it's up to the WWE. I mean, they could surprise us. You never know. But, Steve, your prediction?
I'm just going with the New Day tribute to Big E. I don't see why they wouldn't have him win.
I hope that their outfits, like they normally do, are kind of like a Big E kind of tribute thing. Because I know that they always do some kind of tribute for other wrestlers and stuff like that. But yeah.
I'd like to see the Usos actually taking the mic and all coming out in flat caps and all the rest of it.
Yep. Yeah. that would be kind of funny, yeah. Yep.
What, mate? How do, mate? You
what? And for the other one, so you got Rachel's prediction there.
Yep.
All right. So Steve's going with the New Day as well. And myself, I think I'm going to agree with both of you guys. I'm going with the New Day as well. Just simply because of the fact that, Big E, maybe tribute, let them win for him, give him something to smile about and everything else while he's in the hospital.
Yeah.
Right. So, all right. So the next match that I have this is another one that I hope is on the kickoff show. I'm not really interested in it that well, but anyways, The Miz and Paul Logan versus Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio.
Logan Paul, but the same name, yes.
Did I say Logan Paul?
You said Paul Logan, but same thing.
Logan Paul. Sorry.
I think he was the singer.
Maybe.
It's not. It's actually Vicky. It's neither of those. It's Lucha Logan.
Sorry, it's first is the Mysterios, yeah.
Yeah, Rey and Dominic. Now, I don't really like what they're doing with Rey, but I mean, he's getting up there in age too, so I kind of understand him kind of being, taking Dominic under his wing and training him through these kickoff matches and stuff like that. But anyway, so Jace, your prediction for this match, because I'm sure you're just as not interested in it as I am.
Jimmy winds me up. I've got a flat Pete's cap. And ever since I've had it, he starts calling me Logan Bloody Paul. Right? Yep. It's like, I'm not comparing me to that, I'll say it, that twat. I'm sorry, but he is.
It's okay, I agree.
Yeah, I'm not interested in the guy. I don't know why he's popular on YouTube. I don't get it at all. Maybe it's because he's a twat. People want to make him see an idiot of himself. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, whichever. Right. Logan doesn't need to be over or anything like that. They're not really doing anything much with the Miz. I think they're still trying to push Dominic more and sort of get him, because Dom needs a bit more personality.
Yeah, a little bit.
Right? Yeah. I mean, like, Ray was never the most chatty, all the rest of it, but you liked him because he came across as a nice guy.
Yeah.
Dom's just, it's just Dominic. You
Yeah.
know, it's nothing. Yeah, let's go for the Mysterios. Let's go for the
Okay.
Mysterios. I'm not really that worried about it, but
All right. So, Jace is picking Ray and Dominic Mysterio for this match. Steve, who are you picking?
The same, and I think what will happen, because of the whole Lucha Logan deal, is I think the Ray and Dominic will win the match, and then Dominic will actually finally reward, or Ray will finally reward Dominic with a mask, so like he'll earn a mask finally.
Yeah.
And I think that's how they introduce it, because like you were saying, Ray is getting up there. He's not going to be there for Dominic forever.
Yeah.
So they need to start transitioning Dominic into that Rey Mysterio Jr. deal. So
I did wonder if, sorry to interrupt, I did wonder if Dominic will ever end up with a mask.
Well, that's what Steve was just saying.
Yeah. So it would, so like you were saying, maybe not the mask, but a mask.
well, what they're saying, I don't know if you saw SmackDown last week, but there was the whole thing about Logan stealing the mask from Ray.
Yeah.
And then Michael Cole's talking about how the reason Ray doesn't have or Dominic doesn't have a mask yet is because Ray wants him to be like how he was, where he earned his mask. So maybe this could be the way to earn the mask. It will be his Mania moment.
So you said about See, I would have preferred that match at Mania. Actually, was Dom versus Ray.
Yeah.
And the winner keeps the mask.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because it would be. I mean, a lot of people know what Ray looks like under the mask anyway, because of his WCW days. Was that against Kevin Nash?
I'm not sure.
No, I can't remember. I know he had a match anyway, and he got demasked.
Yeah, something like that.
Because when he was with the Filthy Animals with Billy Kidman and Conan, he was unmasked. So people know what he looks like without.
Yeah.
All right, admittedly, that was a long time ago, and people have got short memories. But it would be nice to basically, right. Ray actually physically takes the mask off. Boom, there you go, Dom.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, but that's by the by. Anyway, Steve, you were going for
Ray and Dominic.
Ray and Dominic. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. I think this will be the start of the transition to get Ray out and then put Dominic in.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, and I think we can see it kind of coming sometimes with Ray and Dominic, how they kind of miss cues and stuff like that. I think I'm going to go with Ray and Dominic as well, but I'm also going to say that it's because of the fact that I agree with Steve that this could be when Ray hands Dominic his mask or a mask for earning it. But I think this is the beginning of when they start to have Dominic go, you know what, I don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
And kind of send him on his own. Blake, welcome in. How you doing? First time viewer. You think
welcome.
Instead of Cody Rhodes facing Seth Rollins, will swerve everyone and the Fiend will come out? No, I don't think Bray's going to come. I know he's in Dallas this weekend, but I don't think Bray's going to come. We're actually going to talk about that a little bit later in the podcast, so stay tuned, and we'd love to get your opinions on what
definitely.
Yeah.
So
I'm going with Ray and Dominic as well, just for that reason. So
at the moment, everyone's picking the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
it's kind of a consensus right now.
It'll get different night two, I bet. We'll get to night two.
Yeah. But you know what? This is the thing. And Blake, pleasure to have you here, bud. Stick around, please.
Welcome.
Yeah. So, all right. Okay, so the next match we're gonna go to is this is the match we were gonna talk about. It says Seth versus Cody or Seth versus Shane. The original person that Seth was supposed to face at WrestleMania was Shane McMahon. And now they've got Cody Rhodes. People are saying Cody Rhodes might back out at the last minute and this and that and the other thing. So we're not really sure what's going to happen. We don't know at all. But for the predictions, I have Cody Rhodes down. Okay. And, so I'm going to go with Cody Rhodes or whoever
whoever the
competitor is. Yeah. Whoever the, what do you call it? Opponent is. Thank you, Steve. I don't English there. And it's definitely nice to meet you too, Blake. It's definitely a pleasure to have you here, dude.
Yeah.
And thank you for the compliment.
Very much appreciated.
Oh, Peaky Blinders makes flat caps look cool. Yes, Rach, they do, and I don't like what they did with Pete either. Yeah. Okay, so Jason, which is your pick for this match?
Right, well, logic would dictate, right, because of everything, all the hoops that Seth had to sort of jump through to even get a match.
Right.
That whoever this, because we still don't know, whoever this mystery opponent is the one that's going to get over.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. If it's Shane does turn up, then I hope he doesn't win.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, back in the day, young Shane, he did some amazing stuff, some great matches, all the rest of it, blah.
Yeah.
Right? But that was then, this is now, right? He still can't throw a punch to save his life.
Yeah.
I thought Will Smith's punch was more convincing.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Sorry. Controversial topic there. Yeah, I'm going to go for whoever the thing is. I don't think it's going to be Cody because there's been all this back and forward, right? Nobody really knows what's going on, and in this day and age, that is a rarity.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And maybe the whole thing. This is the whole thing is WWE were trying to throw us the curveball. I don't think it's going to be the Fiend because he's busy off doing his movies and what have you and all the rest of it.
Right.
I think it's going to be someone that we haven't seen for quite some time. I do think it's going to be a surprise.
Okay.
But as to who it is, I've not got Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Yeah. I phoned up Fred and Daphne, and they don't even know.
Yeah, exactly. See.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but no, I'm going to go with the mystery opponent.
Okay, so Jace is going for that as well. Steve, what are you thinking about this match?
All right. Well, as of the last couple of days, my personal chances of it being Cody has dropped. I think like at the beginning of the week, I was like, all right, it's probably 90% chance it's Cody, and I'm at like maybe a 60% chance now with that.
Yeah.
And I still think it's probably going to be Shane at this point. And if it is Shane, I mean, I want Seth. I think Seth's going to win. Obviously, if it's Cody's obviously winning. I'm still going to play it safe and go Seth.
Okay.
You're making a note of Steve's predictions, yeah?
Yep.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm going Seth. And I don't think it's gonna be the Fiend because of, like you said, the movie, and I believe from that video that we saw on his channel, he just been signed somewhere, which I don't know if you're gonna talk about later, but he got signed to some indie place or whatever it is.
Yep.
So the chance of him coming back is probably slim at that point. It could be very well be a surprise, but knowing WWE, if it is supposed to be Cody and he doesn't show up, their backup is Shane, right? So
yeah, exactly.
And I know we were discussing this. If Cody, because I don't know the extent of Cody's contract because we're not even sure it's even official. I mean, it's been reported that it is, but and like I was saying, if it's guaranteed money, and he's supposed to be in this match and he just no shows, I mean, I don't like Cody. I really not like him because that'd be him stealing money from WWE.
Yeah.
Because if it's a guaranteed contract, he no shows, that's kind of garbage.
Yeah. If he signed a contract and everything else, yeah.
Yeah, and then he just backs out, then that means he just.
Well, that's if.
That's if.
We don't know.
We don't know. We'll find out for sure if that's the
And
case.
a lot of people were saying that this is all a big storyline by AEW.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it was never going to happen anyway.
I
And
don't
then
know.
Cody had come back to AEW and, you know.
He left because of control issues with him and Jericho.
Yeah, I know. But, you know, but again, is that, have they built it into a story? You know what wrestling world's like, mate.
Yeah,
I know.
absolutely.
You know.
Yeah. Alrighty. So Jace has gone with Cody Rhodes.
I'm
Seth
still going
has
Seth
gone with
regardless.
Seth Rollins. Sorry.
Seth is going with Seth.
Yeah.
I
Steve
sure
is
hope he
going
goes
with
for
Seth.
himself.
Shush you! Stop making fun of me.
Been told no, mate.
I swear, English is my first language. But Jace is going with the mystery opponent. Ray says, I think it's the first time we all agree. Yeah, exactly. Yep. So okay.
Yours was mystery as well, was it? Vicky?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
yeah. So my prediction is also
right. By the sounds of it, Rachel's the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty.
It's nice to have surprises though at Mania.
It always is, yeah.
And I think if it's not Cody or the Fiend, then it's going to be someone, as I say, it's going to be someone we've never even expected.
Here comes the money. If that music hits, I swear, man, the booing in the crowd's going to be so bad. You already know.
We're gonna be texting each other, going, "Are you freaking kidding me? Like, why? Why him?"
And you know, I'm a Shane mark, and I'd be disappointed. You know,
absolutely.
I'll tell you what. Was it this last Monday that they were back in the UK?
I think so.
Or it's soon, if not. Right?
I think it's soon.
It's soon. I don't remember them mentioning their name.
I'm gonna be, if I ever get to go to a show again, right? I'm gonna try and do like I've done before and get down the front.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm gonna start throwing some weird chants out there.
Yeah, okay.
Start flinging poop.
We want Spud. We want Spud.
We do want Spud back.
Yeah.
Rach says she thinks it's going to Shane. Writers can't write for crap. Yep.
So is that your prediction, Rach? You're going to go with Shane, or you're just saying that's who it's going to be?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm confused now as to who your actual prediction's for.
I think her first one, because I think she's on a bit of a delay. I think her first one was she was going with Ray and Dominic as well, because I think your comment too, we've kind of been going with the same people this whole time until now. But I think she's saying that Shane or whoever the mystery opponent is going to go to them. Yeah. Either way. Oh, okay. But either way, Seth will win. Okay.
Ah, right. Okay. Seth will win. So that's the one match we don't agree with.
Okay.
And one comment to you, Jace. Drake Maverick still is there, but they brought him back, but he's just creative.
Yeah, he's backstage.
Yeah, he's backstage.
Yeah, which is fair enough because he was good at what he was doing with the storylines. You know.
Yeah.
He came up with that whole thing for the 24/7 champion where we was going around with wanted posters for our truth, which I thought was brilliant.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
But I still think they need to do away with that whole championship. But
I do.
But it is entertainment, right?
It's given a bit of showcase to people that we don't see a lot of. Yeah. Let's be honest, right? What would a Dana Brooke been doing otherwise?
True.
She should be fired.
Right. As much, well, you know, I've got no problem with Dana, but she's not the greatest wrestler in the world.
No.
Right? And I don't think she ever will be.
No.
But she's
great on the mic.
Sorry?
She's great on the mic.
Yeah.
So
and she's kind of funny as well, you know. And this whole thing with Reggie and that, I think it's quite fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think that's more about those two than the belt as a whole.
Yeah.
They could have done a storyline with them without the belt.
Exactly.
You know? But yeah, anyway.
Yes. All right. So the next match that I have written down is for the Raw Women's Championship was going to be Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. Yeah. Now this match I'm kind of looking forward to. Bianca has some awesome power. She can lift a lot of weight. So she could throw Becky out of the ring and halfway up the aisle, so and plus after what happened on Raw when she cut Becky's hair, because Becky came out with a pair of scissors and tried to cut Bianca's ponytail off, and so Bianca in turn knocked out Becky and then cut her hair. The new hairdo looks amazing. Yeah. I think she actually looks a lot cooler, a little bit more like Joan Jett now. She's dyed it again. Yep, and she's dyed it again, so it's dark orange now.
Yeah.
So I really like it on her though, and of course Seth's comments were, "This is really going to change things." That's all he had to say about it. So, anyways, Jace, your prediction for that match?
Oh, that's a tough one. I hope it's not a squash match again.
Yeah.
Right, and the reason my thinking was that was because of them doing it the other way around to what happened before.
Absolutely.
Right? I don't see that happening. I think it's going to be a long, drawn-out match. Probably one of the longer matches on the card, actually, from what we've had so far. With the possible exception of the Seth match, which could be quite long.
Right.
Heart or head? I'm going to go with Bianca. I think she deserves it.
Yeah, well, especially after what happened at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
Right, and it's not like she's not capable of running with the title. I think she have a proper decent run this time.
Absolutely. Yeah. I hope she can.
I think she can really go with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. She's just saying, confirming. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Rachel.
Okay. Steve, your prediction.
Bianca.
Bianca as well. Okay. Why is that?
It's because it's Bianca, dude. Well, because of Bianca rules, but no. It's just it's been a long build up to what happened, and what better time to finally rewrite that than just at the biggest stage of them all, right? So
yeah, exactly.
So I mean, I get it. Because that was one big thing that all of us were shocked when she just came out and just took it. She's like, "This is mine, thank you." And so,
what the hell just happened?
Every day, people still talk about that crap, So, if Becky wins, I mean, I think a lot of people are going to be very fuming. They're going to be fuming because of it. The few Becky fans left during the heel run will be happy, but
yeah,
I'm telling you, the amount of times they beg for Bianca, it's like when they used to beg for Liv, right?
Yeah.
They're like, we need her to win this title back. And I'm right there with them, right? I'm right there with them. I think it'll be a very long match, as Jason is predicting. Which would be good, because women matches in WWE tend to get 2 minutes or less into the roll-up. So it'll be very nice to have a very long one again. Her match with Sasha last year was crazy good.
Yeah.
So I think she'll top it up this year. So I'm going to go Bianca.
Yeah. Okay.
I just gave me a thought, actually.
Yep.
Right? To throw a bit of controversy in the works is that Bianca gets Becky to tap out with use of the hair.
Oh, that could set up some shit. Yeah, that's cool.
Then Becky be like, "Oh no, you beat me. You used the hair. That was an illegal move. Bloody.
For an object, yeah.
Yeah.
And they want a hair versus hair match.
Technically speaking, it's not, because it's part of her.
Yeah.
Well, realistically, it's not part of her, but in the show it is. So yeah.
Yeah.
So is that actually extensions then, or
it's just like a clip-on kind of deal.
Yeah, the whole ponytail. She has a bun underneath, and she just kind of clips that big clip.
Yeah.
There. So
because I've known people that have generally had hair that long.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. There's millions of people that my hair's down past my waist.
But since it's part of her character,
yeah,
will count as part of her. So.
And I actually think it's a really good gimmick, because not a lot of people have that kind of thing as their gimmick and stuff. So I really like it.
Yeah.
I really do.
The only thing I don't like is the way that just lately, WWE are, what should we say, playing the effects through the speakers to make things sound a lot louder than what they actually are.
Yeah.
They've done that twice now.
Yeah.
Because they did it with Bianca with the hair, and they did it recently in NXT with Gunther when he slapped that other bloke.
Yeah.
All right. Go on.
They did that with the Johnny Knoxville thing with Seth with the little cattle prod too.
Yeah.
The worst sounding electricity sound of all time, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
Sounded like a freaking fax machine or something, like or freaking dial up or something, you know? Like it just didn't sound good.
Yeah. Rach, that would be really cool.
That would be awesome match.
Ciampa as Tomato Camper.
Tomato Camper.
Yeah, because those two know each other anyway, don't they? From back in the ROH days.
Yeah. So we'll see tomorrow who ends up being Seth's partner.
We might even find out tonight.
Yeah, exactly. And Rach is going with Bianca as well.
Okay.
Do we know if the Seth match is night 1 or night 2?
Seth match is night 1.
Because I feel like it'd be more realistic if it would be Ciampa if it was night 2, because he has his retirement NXT match on Friday.
That's very true.
Or Saturday morning, rather. Saturday morning.
Yeah.
That's why if it was night 2, I could see it because he get the day of rest. But it still could be technically, but
you never know, right?
Yeah. So what was yours, Vicky?
Mine was for Bianca as well, just for the same reason, like Steve said, for Retribution, kind of to speak.
Retribution, they got fired.
Yeah.
And then they brought T-Bar back for no reason.
SummerSlam last year. Yeah, exactly. But so there we go. So Jace, Steve, myself, and Rach have gone with Bianca Belair. And I think half of the WWE is probably on our side as well, hoping that Bianca will get the title and Becky will, change her bad guy persona a little bit. I think it needs to be tweaked a little bit more.
This could be humbling for Becky, I think. This could be how she gets back to that face. Plus, she still has to have that match with Trish that they've been teasing too, so this could lead to that as well.
Yeah.
Because when she came out, before she got her haircut, she had like the Lita look going on.
Yeah.
So she could be turning into legitimately Lita now to face Trish.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah. The anger buildup from all of this could lash out and she could go against Trish.
She had the skater pants. She had like the low cut top. She had the Lita look. Yeah.
Yeah, she did. It was really cool. I liked it. I do kind of want to see her go back to the steampunk days because I really liked that persona she had. So.
Yeah, because she still has that theme song, right? But she hasn't been steampunk in over a year and a half. That's been weird.
Exactly.
Almost 2 years.
Alrighty, so the other thing that they have is the KO show with Steve Austin and everything else. We don't know what's going to happen with that or whatever, but there's not really going to be any prediction for that.
It's not as such, is it?
No, I think that Steve Austin's going to beat the living crap out of KO, but...
I got a prediction, son. The Texas Rattlesnake is going to whoop some ass.
Yep, I agree.
Oh, yeah.
All the stuff about Harlem Market Drive.
That's right.
Steve, I think yours is a better impersonation, mate.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm English. I can't do Texas redneck.
He's gonna kick some Canadian ass, and he's gonna get a White Castle burger because that's the bottom line. Because Stone Cold said so.
That's right. You tell him, Steve.
White Castle burger.
Yeah. White Castle burgers.
White Castle burgers. Yeah, I was just thinking that myself.
Yeah. Okay, so last match for night 1 will be the SmackDown Women's Championship match. Okay. Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey. Now this one here, I love Ronda Rousey, but I don't know. I've kind of lost my love for Charlotte Flair when she used to come out. It's just, I don't know. She's just like, she's coming out to win the championship and everything else. She's much like her dad was, the limousine riding, helicopter flying, whatever.
Yeah.
But Jace, your prediction for this match?
Oh, a toughie, no doubt. I don't really see why they would have brought Ronda in just to have her lose.
Yeah.
So, is this going to be an ongoing thing, or is it a one-off, or what? I don't really know what WWE's plans is for this with bringing Ronda back. I do think we need someone else apart from Charlotte, but the problem is, if she loses the title again, within 6 months, she's going to get another title shot.
Yeah.
Because she's Charlotte Flair. It's almost like what they did with Cena now, right? Don't get me wrong. I think Charlotte's a far better wrestler than Cena ever was.
Yeah.
Right? Just saying.
Yeah.
Right? She certainly puts the effort in. But it's how long has she been at it? Not long, really, has she?
Not long, no.
Was it 8 years?
Something like that, yeah.
She's like, I've been dominating since 2014, I think is what she said. So
yeah.
So when was it?
2014, I believe, when she debuted.
So about 8 years then. Yeah, and she's won it how many times?
Yeah,
16,
exactly.
I think.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I don't think she needs to hold on to it.
No.
Right?
So
I am still waiting for some sign of Bayley to come back.
Yeah.
Because apparently, from what I understand, she's ready to go.
Yeah.
It's just waiting for the right time.
Yeah.
And they could do a Charlotte Bayley feud again.
They could do, yep.
In some ways, I'd like Bayley to come back as a face.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, just a bit of change. Not maybe like she was, but
no, I don't want to
go
back to the
she certainly needs a better haircut.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Let's go for Ronda.
All right. Okay, so Jace is going with Ronda Rousey for that pick. I want to say welcome into CBP TV. Welcome in. A pleasure to have you here. And White Tupac, how are you? I hope you are well, dude. It is really good to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you for coming in.
If you guys want to pop your predictions into the chat and everything else, let us know, and your opinions and everything else. Everybody's opinion is welcome here. Just keep it clean. That's all we ask. Anyways, Steve, your prediction for this match.
Well, first thing is, you're talking about Bayley. I'm not sure if we're going to mention this, but I'm sure you will talk about it later. But Bayley and Asuka were spotted at Dallas, so maybe some returns coming in. We don't know.
Yep.
Still no sign of Alexa Bliss, though. So there you go.
But we're going to talk about that a little bit more later.
Yes,
so, yeah.
we will. Anyway, as for prediction's sake, Charlotte hates saying that her legacy is because their name is Flair, which she's a great wrestler. I'm never taking that away from her. But a lot of it is because she's a Flair, okay? And I know she hates hearing it, but that's just the darn truth.
Yeah. It is.
And they're trying to repeat his legacy with hers by having her have the most ever women's title runs ever. So, like Jason was saying, like she'll have the title for maybe 6 months, 7 months, and then she'll lose it, win it right back.
Hasn't she already got that record anyway?
Yes, but they're gonna try to pad it at this point.
They want to make sure that no one else can beat it for a while.
Yeah.
That way, because even Flair and Cena are still tied.
Yeah, that's a good point. Rach was saying, what if Trish gets involved?
Yep,
that's also possible. Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I'm for pick's sake though. I'm going to go Ronda.
Okay. Alrighty, so Steve's going Ronda as well. And you know what? I'm going to give Jason my prediction right now. It's going to be Ronda Rousey as well. I think the same thing. Charlotte Flair has won it 16 times. And I get them trying to pad it so that, somebody really has to go for it to beat it. But, Ronda just came back, as Jason said. So I think that they may give it to her. And I think this could be a good time for Charlotte to reevaluate things. I don't know when her contract expires and everything else, but I know she's been thinking of leaving and joining Andrade at AEW. So we don't know what's going to happen after this. There's probably going to be a rematch between her and Ronda Rousey because it's in their contract automatically that they automatically get a rematch. Ronda for Rach as well.
Can I mention something?
So, yes.
I don't understand why both women's main world titles are on the same night. I don't like that.
I don't like it either.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it?
I think the Ronda Charlotte should have been night 2.
Yeah.
But,
and put out a similar position in the card.
Yeah.
So they're level playing field.
Well, it was originally supposed to be the main event night 1, and then now the main event's going to be the podcast of KO and Steve Austin. So that's kind of weird.
Well, sort of main event, I suppose if you call it that. But yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's just them telling us it's going to break out into a singles match.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it for night 1. Thank you guys. So next we're gonna go on to night 2. So the first match for night 2, which again starts at, I'm not sure if they're gonna have a 2-hour kickoff. I think that's only for the Saturday.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it's probably going to start 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with an hour kickoff show to kind of promo all the matches that are going to be on Sunday night for night 2. So the first match we're going to go with is the WWE Universal Championship match, title unification match between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
So Jace, when you're done writing that down, we'll go to you for your prediction for that match.
Crikey. Now you're asking. This is a hell of a tough one to call. The thing is, although they're doing a total unification match, are they generally putting the two titles together now?
Yes, it's going to be called the WWE Universal Championship.
And they're going to be defended on both shows.
Yep.
That's to be fair, they're probably going to wait a week and add another title again. That's what they always do.
It's just the thing is, you've had this thing sort of before, but they've still kept the title separate.
So what they're doing, honestly, is they're getting rid of the WWE title finally because they're going to retire it. Because remember when they did with the World Heavyweight title for the Universal title? Yeah. So what they're going to do is they're going to make it the WWE Universal Championship. They're going to get rid of the WWE title, and then it's just going to be the Raw Universal, Smackdown Universal. I think that's what they're going to go for.
Why are they doing that?
That's what they did with the WWE to go into Universal title. So I could see them doing it again. Yeah. Just have a blue one and a red one.
Yeah.
Because they're tired of switching back and forth. Let's just have two.
It's just the world title is what everybody knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. So why... I don't get it.
Yep, I know.
This is the WWE. Remember, they were born to confuse us.
Perhaps they're thinking universal means greater than the world. So we're the only ones that have a universal title. You know, look at us.
Yeah, exactly.
World title, whatever.
Not anymore.
You know,
exactly.
That kind of attitude. Bloody difficult match to call.
Yeah.
I like the fact that what Roman's done with that title.
Yeah.
He's done an excellent job. Right? He's come on leaps and bounds, no end.
And he's held it for 579 days as of today.
Yeah. So, you know, he out of the two, I think has been putting more of the effort in, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of I never thought I'd say this. I'm kind of liking the newer Brock.
Yep. Oh, I love it.
He's a bit more mellow some of the times, and then he suddenly lose it.
Yeah.
Whereas beforehand he was full on, you know,
just all Paul Heyman.
No. Yeah. This is now, you know, Cowboy Brock, all the rest of it. It's like, yeah, I'm all right until you mess with me. When you mess with me, then things happen. Crikey. Do you know what? I'm going to go with Brock.
Okay. So Jace going with Brock Lesnar for that.
Very difficult choice.
I do love the new Brock. Actually, I really like the fact he looks extremely happy, And
Yeah.
this is what I wanted Brock to be. He's been there a lot more often. And I think the deal was when he re-signed with WWE was that he had control over his character. And I think that was a lot of the reason he came back, because you know how Brock is, he will work it his way.
Yeah.
So that he can get what he wants. And this is exactly like, he doesn't like to travel too much.
No.
But, you know, I think this is what was really working well for him. The fans love it. And, you know, he can still be kind of a heel at the same time as being a face.
Hey, he's a tweener.
Yeah, exactly. And I love it. I absolutely love it.
He's got it. You know, you look at Stone Cold, right?
Yeah.
Stone Cold was always was not the nicest guy around.
Yeah.
But because he was a badass, people loved him for it.
Yeah, exactly.
He wouldn't take any crap from anybody. And you've kind of got that with Brock.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know. And I think the Brock that we've seen recently, I've been liking a lot more than probably I've ever liked him.
Yeah.
Because he's putting the work in this time. He's appearing on shows all the time. I just hope that when he gets this title, he doesn't then bugger off.
Yeah. No, I don't think he will. Yeah, I don't think he will.
No,
I agree with you, though. I hope he doesn't either. But, you know. But, Steve, your prediction for this match?
It's a hard one to definitely, for sure, to choose. I am going to go with Roman, and that's just to the fact that they're trying to solidify him as the best champion of all time. He beat Cena, he beat Brock already, he beat Undertaker at Mania. I know Brock did the same thing, but they're trying to make him, because they're having him beat all the best champions ever.
Yeah.
And he's the face of the company, because remember we were watching that thing about him. They were trying to make him the face of the company and be a babyface. That never worked.
Agreed. Yeah.
He's Vince's guy. He's the face of the company now. He's what Brock was. So I honestly believe that, I mean, Brock, it's a 50-50 for me.
Yeah.
But I think the slight edge would still have to be Roman, just because of the implication of him being the greatest champion of all time.
Yeah.
And really, reigns usually don't go past 400 days. And in fact, he's almost at 600. Because the last reign that was anywhere near this was CM Punk. And that was at, 440 something?
Yep.
So, I mean,
I
think what they're trying to do is just trying to make him the best champion. Because right now, you think of the best champion of all time for Reign's sake. You think of, Reign's sake, that's funny. You think of Bruno with however many years he was, right? But that was original, right? This is the next era. And he's talking about, you know, he's the next Hogan era. He's getting rid of the Cena era. Yeah. He's the next era is what his whole thing is about. So that's
absolutely.
why I think Roman will hold it for just a little bit longer to get past the whole 600 deal. And then I
do what you said about the whole CM Punk thing being one of the longest.
Yeah.
Maybe this is sort of like a big FU to AEW. So, well, you might have Punk, right? Who was the longest reigning champion, but we've got Roman and he's held it longer.
Yeah. Which kills me.
That's what they do.
Yeah. Which is crazy, is Punk has always said so many good things about Roman too. You know?
Oh yeah.
It's weird. And then they gave Roman the needle mover shirt, you know, making fun of CM Punk, and I think it's ridiculous, but that's just
Punk
backstage politics. Punk loves Roman Reigns. Yeah, he loves him.
Yeah.
He loves the character. I mean, he's a great character right now. The head of the table is great. Rikishi loves it, you know.
Yeah, Rikishi's loving it. The whole Uso family's loving it right now.
Yeah, it's a great character.
And this is who Roman's born to be. You know?
Yeah.
So okay, so who's your pick again? Roman?
Yep, Rach also went Roman.
Yep. So Jace and I are with Brock, and Rach and Steve are with Roman Reigns for that match. And I mean, you know what? It could go 50-50. And I hope I'm right, but I also hope you're right when it comes down to it. My pick is also, like I said, Brock Lesnar. So
hell, it could even be a double freaking, double count, 10 count on the ground. They can knock each other out, and the match can never end. Who knows?
Absolutely. Okay, so so this is definitely going to be one match that we're going to be watching that I want to see.
But that's night 2, right?
Yep, that's night 2.
Or the Usos are night 1.
Yep.
So that means Roman can have the Usos and Paul helping him in that match. So I mean,
and maybe they might have the new female member come out if they ever do that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because we've been talking about that for a while now, haven't we?
Yeah, for a year. Anyway.
Unless the Rock comes out and distracts Roman, but that still seems like a long shot.
Exactly.
I'll check your ass into the Smackdown hotel.
You smell.
Yeah, exactly.
You smell what the Rock is cooking?
No, I don't want to smell it. It's gross. I smell what Jason's cooking. No,
actually, when the old Will Smith thing.
Yeah.
Right? Did you see Dwayne's face?
Yeah.
He didn't even bat an eyelid.
Nope.
See, this is what making me think the whole thing's staged.
Oh, I think so too. So does Steve. Yep, the whole thing was staged.
Yeah, and the way that Chris Rock rolled with the punch, he knew it was coming.
Yeah, well, and the fact that the police were waiting to arrest Will Smith and Chris refused to press charges.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I did see, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this, was someone watched it in 8K and zoomed in, and 8K quality zoomed in, and you could actually see like a cheek pad on Chris Rock that's like kind of painted to match his skin color. He had a cheek pad and he tensed up before the hit. So I really think it was just just a big old publicity stunt. That's Hollywood.
Cause a bit of controversy. Hollywoodize it. All the rest of it.
It's Hollywood. It's all controversy anymore.
So
that's why I never watch those stupid award shows anymore. Okay, so the next match we have, and I'll go slow, Jace, is the Raw Tag Team Championships.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's going to be RK Bro.
RKB, yep.
Versus Street Profits.
Yep.
Versus Alpha Academy.
Shoosh. Okay.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with RK Bro right now because Randy Orton is kind of teaching Matt Riddle. And it's kind of like Matt Riddle is Randy Orton's little brother, and Randy is having the time of his life. He's having a blast. If you see him at ringside, the way he cheers Matt Riddle on, it's awesome. And I really am glad that Randy is at this point in his life because he deserves it. I mean, he's done had so many accomplishments. And Steve and I watched the video on him yesterday on the Evil of Randy Orton, and it was just amazing to see how he's become who he is today. So, so Jace, your prediction for that match?
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I'm not a big Riddle fan.
No.
But I do like RK Bro. Because there's two polarizing characters. And you can, like you said, you can tell Randy is generally having fun.
Yep. It's having a blast.
Right? It's not, he's not having to worry about the title picture or the rest of it. It's just, all right, okay, got the tag team title, but, he's not going after the main titles or anything at the moment. He's not really involved in anything overly convoluted storyline-wise, storyline-wise, not story-wine-lies.
Right.
Wine-lies is what you do after you've had a few. Alpha Academy are okay.
Yeah.
But they're okay.
Yeah.
Right? I like Chad Gable's bit as opposed to what Otis is doing. Otis doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, I don't
he wrestles.
He just looks like a big old pervert.
Stands there and, I was going to say he looks pretty, but he doesn't look pretty.
He looks like a potato.
Looks like a big old pervert.
Yeah, he looks like a potato.
A sack full of spuds.
Yeah.
A sack full of Rockstar spuds.
Yeah. And then of course you got Street Profits, who I do like, but they've not been really doing anything overly much with them of late. Who's actually got the title right now? Is it still RKB?
It's RK Bro, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they're going to retain.
Okay,
I really do.
Okay, so
I think it could be a good match, though. I think it could be a surprisingly good match.
Yeah. Okay, so Jace is going with RK Bro, and I think it's going to be a good match. I really do. You know, and like you said, I don't really like the Alpha Academy just for the fact of the shoosh. And
but that busts me up. That busts me up. Chad Gable. I think Chad Gable right now is in his element.
Oh yes, he's loving it. Yeah, he's an annoying little nit, and he loves it.
Yeah.
But Otis, I don't like this version of Otis. I miss the heavy machinery version of Otis.
Same.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Steve, your prediction for this match.
All right. Now, let me get something straight. I used to be the biggest hater of Riddle. And dude, he's over for me now, brother.
Yep.
I am a bro at this point.
I still wish you wouldn't say that every other word, but yeah.
True.
Let me know, bro. But anyway, now, as my prediction, I'm really on the fence with Street Profits just because they have started a heel turn of the last couple weeks. Yeah. Attacking RK Bro during their matches. And they actually just got him DQ or, DQ win over the match. I will actually go Street Profits just because of a new heel run they can go.
Yeah.
Because honestly, RKO needs legitimate competition. And Alpha Academy is just good for a promo bit at this point. I mean, I'm not hating on Gable's moves, but I mean, Otis's moveset is he knocks you down and splashes on you.
Yeah.
That's Otis. And then Gable, he just, he's got the old Kurt Angle style. But as much as I love RK Bro, I'm actually going to go Street Profits just because of the heel turn and the story that they have going on now.
Just to say, people in the chat, we know you're still there. We know you're still lurking in the background. Don't be afraid to express an opinion. Doesn't mean we're going to agree with you, but you're more than welcome to say it.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Feel free to agree with all my decisions.
Yeah, exactly.
And all of my opinions.
Yeah, my opinion matters. So
no, it's just we do like to get other people's perspective because sometimes it will sway us into thinking another way.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've had this before, especially me and Steve. We've been chatting about something, and one of us was going to go one way, and then the other one said something, and we thought, you know what, you're actually right on that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, please chime in with your 5 cents or 5p or whatever, whatever currency you use, €5.
2 cents, whatever. Yep. All right. So Jace has gone with RK Bro. Steve has gone with Street Profits. I myself agree with Steve. I love RK Bro right now, like I said before. I just love that Randy Orton's having the time.
It made me a Riddle fan,
Yeah, and Riddle is growing on me as well, as much as I didn't like the bro every 2 minutes.
I couldn't stay at his feet, but now he's an RK Bro, and Randy's actually generally always so happy. I'm like, he likes him for a reason, so I guess I will like him too.
Yeah, exactly. And we all like to see the annoying team. Rach says Street Profits as well. But we all like to see the annoying team get beat up, and not win. So I'm going to go myself as well with the Street Profits. I think that they had the titles before. They lost it. And it's kind of been going back and forth between RK Bro and Alpha Academy. So I think this time that the Street Profits are going to come up, they're going to win this. And I do like this kind of new heel turn that they're going with. So,
maybe this is something that's going to develop.
Yep.
This is the start of it.
Yeah.
But then, of course, it could start with winning the titles.
Yeah, exactly. All righty. So this one's a long one as well, Jace. So we're going to start first. The women's tag team championships.
Oh yeah,
is going to be Queen Zelina and Carmella.
So and Cam, yeah.
Versus Sasha Banks and Naomi.
Sashnon.
Versus Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan.
Rhea and Liv.
Yeah.
Yep. Versus Shayna Baszler and Natalya.
Okay.
AKA teams to fill up because they've only got one team on the division. So.
Exactly. Now we know Queen Zelina and Carmella are not going to win. They've been playing around, screwing around, whatever. Carmella wants to go her own way again. You can see it happening. Zelina, well, I don't know what they're going to do with her. I love Zelina. She's an amazing wrestler. She's for such a tiny little lady. She's awesome.
I prefer doing Impact if I'm being fair.
True, but I just love her wrestling style. I love she's so tiny, right? She could give Rhea a run for her money, you know. Okay,
my kind of woman.
Exactly right.
That means I don't have to use a stepladder to get out to kiss her.
Well, it's just on a different note, you know, kind of going off on a different winding path. I'm just going to reveal one thing about your address. I never really quite understood why they always call you the Hobbit. I do get that you're short, but you also live in the Shire. So
I do actually, yeah. You didn't think of that, did you?
You definitely are a hobbit.
Yes. The only thing is, though, I don't live in a hill. I live on top of a hill.
Yep, just like Frodo did. But I thought that was really awesome. I was saying that to Steve. I go, he really is a hobbit.
Yeah. And I've got hairy toes.
Didn't even know that.
I respect. Hey, I will not allow any hairy toe slander. All right. I will not tolerate any hairy toe slander.
Right. It's one of those things though. When you get older, hair everywhere except where you want it.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Right.
My dad, it's growing out of his ears now.
Oh, that's just vile.
Yep.
I hate that.
The ear jungles. Nice.
Yeah.
He gets it trimmed all the time.
Or you get the bloke that comes into when I used to work. Bloke coming into your shop with nasal hair.
Ew.
It looked like he could have grown blooming root vegetables up there.
He's got Vietnam inside of his nose.
My dad has these little eyebrows that they go like this, but then they go up like this. So his little demon horns every so I'm like, Dad.
Well, that's the other thing. Is when you get sticky up eyebrow.
Yeah.
They're called spoiks because that's what they do. They go spoik.
Yep.
Anyway, we get off subject.
Yep. So back to wrestling. Okay, so Jason, your prediction on this match.
Right. What? So hang on. Let me get this right. We got
Queen Zelina and Carmella.
Zelina and Sasha and Naomi.
Rhea and Liv. And Shayna Baszler and Natalya.
Do you know what? There's someone out of all that lot who really, really deserves to have a belt on her. Right? Because she's been doing amazing things. I think she's vastly improved in the last year.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it's a shame she's not women's champ, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Liv Morgan.
Yep.
Right? So I would like to... I know Rhea's held it before with Nikki, all the rest of it. But I would love to see Liv with a title.
Okay. So that's your prediction?
I think she did, yeah. So it was Liv and Rhea, innit?
Yeah. Liv and Rhea Ripley. Okay. And you know what? I do agree with you. I love Liv Morgan and I love Rhea Ripley and I like their look together.
Yeah.
You know, that goth kind of punk rock look. And I absolutely love the two of them. They're awesome. Yeah. And of course, Liv's her little smirk. Love it. Love her little smirk. Steve, your prediction for this match?
As much as I agree with the Liv deal, honestly, Sasha has never won at WrestleMania. And Naomi's just coming back and actually not just being in a stupid storyline with, Sonya. Put it on you. So I honestly think this would be a time for Sasha to finally redeem herself at Mania. Yeah. Become tag champs. The Boston Glow. Because honestly, they're the only team. Maybe Rhea and Liv together might, be a functioning team. But they've got Liv in that team just so Nikki Ash doesn't have to be, right?
Yeah.
So, I honestly think this whole Sasha Naomi thing could work. And I mean, if it doesn't, okay, Sasha turns on her after the match, whatever, goes heel again. But, this could be a way to introduce them to the bloodline if they win the titles.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if they won the
That's a
titles,
damn good idea.
and then now you have your women's tag faction team in the faction. Because it doesn't seem like Tamina's gonna be in the role. She's a married woman about to marry another dude, so I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, I want my points, but
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
That would be bloody good. So rather than, because we always said it was going to be between one or the other, but why not both?
Yeah. Exactly.
That that makes a lot of sense.
So I'm gonna go with team Boston Glow is what they're calling themselves.
Boston Glow.
Yeah.
All right.
Boston Glow, yeah.
Glow Boss.
All right. So
my gosh, the Glow Boss.
So Jason's gone with Rhea and Liv. Steve has gone with Sasha and Naomi. I actually do agree with Steve. I'm going to go with Sasha and Naomi as well. I like how this tag team is working so far. They're having so much fun. They're smiling and everything else. Rach is going to go with Rhea and Liv as well.
Good on you, Rach.
So
I think that's the first time her and I disagree this whole time.
Yep. Shayna and Natalya. I feel bad for Natalya because she's I think she's one of the oldest women there right now, besides Tamina. And she deserves at least one more title. A tag team and then a women's championship before she retires.
She needs the women's title.
Yeah. So
she really does.
I would hope that if this doesn't work out with Shayna, that she moves off and she actually works to getting the women's title and then starts retiring, because she's had a tremendous career being one of the Hart family. And yes, she is the last Hart in the WWE right now. But anyways, it's but yeah, I'm gonna go with Sasha and Naomi as well. So yeah.
A note on that is about the last Hart. Yeah, she literally is, because Brett's about to go to AEW. They got the Owen Hart Cup going on in AEW. Like right now, you think of the Hart family, Hart Foundation. You just think of the foundation, not whatever I said. But you think of AEW now, right? They're about to get Brett. The Owen Hart, tournament, the cup or whatever.
I have my T-shirt.
Yeah, right. You do. And don't forget Shayna, though. I feel really bad for Shayna too, because she's actually become the most rolled up pin superstar of all time.
Yeah.
I think she had over 30 roll-up losses a year ago.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, look at her. She went from 3 years ago, she was destroying everybody in the cell or the chamber, to now, then she became a tag champ with Nia. But then she just kind of fell out of the face of the earth, and that's just been a job and an easy pin for everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Where's that storyline we get her and Ronda, right? Because they were building that up for a while. They're best friends. They're both, from the same background.
Yeah.
Why don't we get something like that? It's the easiest.
I think that would be amazing.
It's the easiest storyline to set up, and we're just not going to get it.
If you think about it, if Ronda wins the title, Shayna has a falling out with Natalya.
Yep.
There you go.
And there you go. Yep. Open door right there.
Now, do we trust WWE to do that? No, but it'd be great.
I don't think it'll happen.
Right, but it's right there.
I don't think WWE has enough belief in Shayna.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I like her though.
I do.
I don't know. Right? I always seem to like the guys that are getting the short end of the stick. You know what I mean?
You do. There's people there that deserve a lot better than they're getting right now. We've said this before, but it's WWE. It is what it is.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. The next match that we have is going to be an anything goes match between Edge and AJ Styles.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I don't know how I feel about this new Edge. I liked his Brood Edge or the Rated R Superstar, but I mean, it's just new, so it's going to take time for this Edge to grow on me. But I think, AJ Styles is getting close to retiring as well. But anyways,
wow, the both are really.
Jace, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Two great athletes.
Yeah.
Even for their ages, they're still both of them are still amazing at what they do. Can they do everything they used to do? No, but they've adapted.
Yeah, shit. AJ used to be a cruiserweight.
You know,
Yep.
you don't. It's very. You don't often see AJ doing the Pele kick. You don't very often see him doing the Styles Clash.
Yeah.
Right, and I've always thought the phenomenal forearm was a little bit weak compared to what else he could do.
Yeah.
But he's made it work.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, thank you. Edge has had an amazing comeback story. Nobody ever thought it was going to happen, right? Probably least of all himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this could be the match of WrestleMania, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it really, really could.
Okay.
I really don't know. I really don't know.
You want some time to think about it?
My head's saying AJ.
Okay.
Right, and I think because sort of the way that Edge's career is at the moment, he's not there all the time, and we know why he's not there all the time.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Like you say, Edge is AJ's maybe coming towards the end of his career because he's no spring chicken himself.
Right.
Could this, and there was rumour of AJ maybe getting another run at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So is this the start of going to be, this next 6 months to a year is going to be AJ's year?
Yeah.
And then he will retire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with AJ. Sorry,
Okay.
I've got to make a pick.
Yeah.
I don't want to pick either of them, but
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
And I do agree with you. I mean, the thing is, he's had a tremendous career. I like this version of AJ, but I do miss the TNA Impact version of AJ as well. And he was so young,
Yeah.
But Steve, your prediction for this match?
Well, as I see how the match is going to go, I think, honestly, genuinely, the AJ is going to get his ass handed to him by the most evil, sadistic Edge we've ever seen.
Yeah.
I think he's going to completely tear him apart, and I still think AJ is going to sneak a win, some miracle comeback, or might sneak a forearm in, or even a roll up somewhere, or even hit him with a calf crusher, make him tap. Because as you know, Edge is probably going to try to put the crossface in with the broken piece of chair, like he always does.
Yeah.
I think AJ might take that and somehow implement the calf crusher and choke him with it or something.
Yep.
He might do something, right? He might do some submission of his own and steal a win. Whether he pulls a ladder out and just for a month ladder.
It's anything goes, like you say.
Anything goes, yeah. So who knows what to expect? But I think honestly, AJ might sneak out a win, even though he's the one that's going to take most of the damage in that match.
So you're going with AJ as well?
Yeah, I think
something I want to say when you've made your prediction, Vicky.
Go ahead and say it.
No, what I was going to say was, if anybody remembers the matches between AJ, Samoa Joe, and to some extent Christopher Daniels, those matches were bloodthirsty,
epic matches,
right?
Yeah,
they were brilliant, and it wasn't just. There was violence for violence sake, but they made it work. They made it work.
Yeah.
Right? You knew Joe that was going to go around and wreak havoc with everybody.
Oh, definitely,
That's what Joe was at that time.
That's what he did.
And I'd love to see that Joe back. It won't ever happen, but I'd love to see that Joe back.
Him, but
and to me, that Edge has always had that kind of thing that he's willing to go all out to get matches. I mean, that match that he had with Mick Foley, where they went through the burning table.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That was like, what?
Yeah.
All right, that was a long time ago.
That was a defining moment, though, in his career, because I believe that was Mania, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, Edge is winning. And I think you're going to have that kind of match. So it'd be like, if you could have had AJ versus Joe on WWE, this is a match you're going to get on that night with Edge.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think they're going to pull everything out of the bag. I really, really do.
Yeah, and this is the thing. We know how far Edge and AJ Styles can go.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're both older now, so maybe not quite as far as they used to, but they're still gonna give us a tremendous match.
They're gonna give us everything on the grandest stage, I think.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so I am also gonna go with AJ Styles, but it's also because of the fact that AJ Styles has kind of been jobbing around with Omos lately. He did have a championship at that point, but this is not for a championship. This is for the who is bigger, who is better type of thing. And Rach is going with Edge. Okay.
Thank you, Rach.
All right. But I'm gonna go with AJ just because of the fact that, like I said, he's actually probably in the next few years going to retire. He is getting up there in age. He's almost 50, isn't he?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
well, I think they're both around similar sort of age.
Yeah, I think Edge is like 52, and I think AJ is like 47 or something.
You could say he looks rather phenomenal for his age.
Wait, I get that in there, Steve. All right. Okay, so Rach has gone with Edge. Steve, Jace, and myself have gone with AJ Styles. Okay, so the next match that we're going with is the one Steve is looking most forward to.
Oh, absolutely.
Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn. Now,
I love both of those MFers, man.
Yeah, exactly. Both of these guys are amazing. I love Sami Zayn. I don't like what they're doing with him right now, but I love Sami Zayn when he first came out with his music and everything else. I loved his old theme song and stuff like that. This whole conspiracy theory is kind of reminiscent of what Jericho did. You know, oh, I'm writing you on the list. It's a conspiracy against me, you know, blah, blah, blah. So we've heard this before. Anyways, so Jace, we're gonna go with you first for your prediction.
Okay. I'm trying to take everything into account that's going on.
Yeah.
Jackass, the movie's been out a little while now.
Yep.
Oh, for the record, Darby Allin is not in the movie.
Okay.
And he was never meant to be.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So, because I was looking out for him, I have seen it now.
Yeah.
I can't help but thinking this is going to be, or at least the preparation for it is going to end up on Jackass 4.5.
Yeah.
Right? Because they always do a 0.5.
Yeah.
Right? And I think they need something. The latest movie was all right, but it wasn't their greatest.
Yeah.
Right? There were some good bits, but you know, obviously they're a lot older. They can't all do what they used to do quite the same. The wonder that any of them have got kids after what they do to themselves is a surprise as the hell out of me. Right? If you've seen the new movie.
Yeah.
I have.
Steve has. I am never gonna watch it.
Make sure eyes water, doesn't it, mate?
Well, I'll let Steve talk about it in a minute.
I actually was quite enjoying the movie the whole time.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yes.
So they brought Johnny in as this guest. Crikey. It's a really tough one to call.
Yeah.
Because who's going to benefit the most from it?
Yeah.
Sami's just re-signed, hasn't he?
Yep. I think he's signed for another 3 years again.
So, okay. I'm going to go with Johnny Knoxville.
Okay.
Right? And the reason being is because they get this over and done with. Yeah. It's finished. Right?
Yeah.
New slate. Start clean. Sami can start concentrating on other things.
Yep.
Right? I'd like to see a Sami character change.
Yeah.
Right? And this would be sort of a way, you know, it's like, all right.
Yeah.
I got ahead of myself. I was arrogant, I was foolish, blah blah blah. Right? And
yeah.
He maybe at the end of it he shakes Knoxville's hand and says, "Well done, mate."
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for Johnny Knoxville, but I think he's legitimately going to get the hell beat out of him.
Of course.
Because it's Jackass.
Yep, exactly. Well, I mean,
Right.
from what I know of seeing the other Jackass movies, I agree with you, Jace. But he's going to get the crap knocked out of him. But he's used to having that done.
Exactly. So, and you saw some of the slaps and stuff that they've exchanged before. Those were legit.
Yeah. They ain't fake. Yep.
And you know, I mean, this is Johnny Knoxville's the guy that was knocked out by Butterbean.
Yeah.
So, you know, all right, that was 30 odd years ago, whatever you want to call it. But even so,
yeah,
the fact that he got up and he was all right.
As the Brits put it, he's barmy. So
yeah, barmy. I haven't got that expression in ages.
Well, there you go. You heard it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jace going with Johnny. Steve, tell us a little bit, not too graphic, please, because we know you've seen the movie
a couple times.
What is your prediction for this match?
I'm going Johnny Knoxville.
Okay.
And honestly, straightforward, because one, the WWE Universe is you know, going for him. And two, it's anything goes, right? It's an anything goes match. Okay. So what's stopping the whole crew coming out and just, you know, just having their way with Sami, right? Because he crashed.
Exactly. Yeah.
He crashed their movie premiere.
Yeah.
So what's stopping them coming out and just, you know, just going nuts,
do you know what the ultimate thing would be?
What's that?
Right. Is because he's always the one that gets put upon the most.
Mm-hmm.
It's Njpw is the one that comes in and saves the day.
Oh yeah.
You know, because he is, isn't he? Njpw always gets the worst of it.
Yep.
They're gonna bring out that heavyweight dude to just punch Sami in the face and knock him out for the
yeah. I hope so. Okay, so Steve's going with Johnny Knoxville. And this is the thing. We've seen a few clips of the movie. Like, my favorite part, and I haven't seen it, but I've seen, like, snippets, is the one where they hit them in the face with that big hand.
Oh, yeah.
I love that kind of stuff. I can do away with...
There is a... I won't spoil it for you, but the guest... the hand makes a reappearance. As does a special guest, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I love it. That's my favorite part. I could do without all the family jewel hurting and everything else.
Yes.
And Rach is going with Johnny as well. Yeah, I kind of figured she would. So we're all going with Johnny.
Is there too much balls and butthole for you in the movie?
Yes. So anyways, moving on. But yeah, I think my pick is also going to be Johnny Knoxville. I really like Johnny. I've seen him on Hot Ones. I've seen him on talk shows. He's absolutely hilarious. And he really can put up with a lot of pain. So I really do hope he wins this. So and I do myself agree with Jason. I really want to see Sami go in a whole new direction.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
So okay, so all of us are going with Johnny Knoxville. Poor Sami.
By the way, Sami's phone number is still active. Like, you can call him right now. He hasn't changed his number. He's still, because Johnny Knoxville doxed him. And
yeah.
And Sami's whole thing is, it's legit. He's like, I will not let him win by changing my number. I was watching New Legacy, and they tried to call him the other day on their stream, and it went to voicemail, and they left him a voicemail. So his number's
active. It's probably been set up deliberately, though.
Yeah, but probably, I mean, shoot. Like, can we call him? Can we call him right now? Get him on here. Ask him for his prediction of that match.
Yeah, exactly. Who do you think's gonna win? We're all going with your opponent. So,
Mr. Sami, I'm a big fan, but I'm going with Johnny. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we all think you suck right now. You need to change yourself.
Typical Canadian getting beat up by a celebrity.
Oh, shush! I'm Canadian.
I am too, for that matter.
Yeah, you are part Canadian, so
very slim part.
All right, so the next match we have, which most likely will, I think I've flipped these, so it's going to be Bobby Lashley versus Omos.
Oh,
now, if you watched Monday Night Raw, Bobby Lashley came out as Omos was begging for someone to come out and beat him or whatever, and Bobby Lashley did come out. We know the beast of a guy that Bobby Lashley is.
Yeah.
So I'm really liking this matchup to see if he can really take Omos down. So, Jason, we're going to go with you again for your predictions.
I can't say I really care about this one all that much.
Yeah.
Right? Bobby, all right, Bobby has come on leaps and bounds. We've got the title, right? He's been doing a job. I wouldn't say he's the best champion they've ever had.
No.
But he did a good job.
Yeah.
Right? Omos, what does Omos do? He comes in, he gives somebody a slap, he does some other move that I can't even remember, and that's it, end of story.
Yeah. Agreed.
He's never gone and had a big match.
No.
I'm going to go with Bobby.
Okay.
Just because I want to see Omos get his butt whipped.
Me too. Yeah. All right. So Jace going with Bob Lashley. So Steve, what is your prediction?
Well, after seeing when almost, I always say almost because I always think of how Gangrel when he called him almost. So now that's what I call him now by accident. But ever since he squashed AJ Styles, I've wanted to see him lose.
Yep.
Because he's the one that turned AJ face, and now it's confirmed Bobby Lashley's a face now. So why not start the babyface run for Lashley, beating up the dude that hasn't even been knocked to his feet in ever. So I guess what they're saying, even though he's been on his feet a couple times, off his feet. But have Bobby beat him. It's gonna be probably Bobby getting thrown around.
Oh yeah,
for the most part. But I could see him sneaking a couple spears in, or get a spear in at some point, and that'd be it. I'm gonna go Bobby Lashley, even though it's another one of those matches that is kind of pointless again, but it's Mania, right? So
I don't know why I keep going to write down your predictions, mate.
It's okay. I'm making a note of his. So you're going with Bobby Lashley as well? Okay. So that's 2 for Bobby Lashley. Now I'm going to go with Bobby Lashley as well, just to get that part of it out of the way. But I'm going to go for the same reason as I would like to see, and like I said before about the Alpha Academy, we all like to see the bad guy get the crap beaten out of him by the good guy. So now that Bobby Lashley is face and that he's turned on Omos, and he actually did kind of knock Omos for a loop a little bit, knocked him on his rear end and everything else. We did kind of see Omos almost choke the life out of Bobby. So I think this is going to be an all right match. But yeah, I'm going to go with him. And Rachel put in her prediction in a little bit. So, all right. Now, this match... honestly, I don't care about. This is the last match for night 2. Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory.
I forgot about that, actually.
I'm not a fan of Austin Theory. I love Pat McAfee just because of what he did before wrestling. Like, his career was great in sports before this. But now... right now he's in wrestling. He's an awesome commentator, and I love his energy, especially when Shinsuke Nakamura comes out. He's on that announce table dancing away,
just doing his thing.
And I love that WWE or Vince himself is letting him do this. Like, it's exciting the fans a little bit too to see them letting loose and being themselves. So that's why I like Pat McAfee. But anyways, Jace, we'll go with you. As what is your prediction for that match?
Well, I personally don't have any problem with Austin there. Austin Theory.
Yeah.
I think the kid's got talent.
Oh yeah.
Right. I think if he's utilised the right way, he's got a good future ahead of him. Whether he'll ever be world champion or not is another matter entirely.
Right.
But I can certainly see him, say, US title, Intercontinental title, something like that.
Yeah.
Again, it's a bit of a throwaway match.
Right.
Pat McAfee's got some skills. We know that.
Oh, he does. Yeah.
From the NXT match that he had.
Mm-hmm. I know. This has been a little bit tough night too.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Austin Aries, and the reason being
Austin Theory.
Austin Theory. I don't know Austin Aries.
Okay.
Yeah, Austin Theory. And the reason being is because, as I say, Pat doesn't need any big push. This is, he can get over just by doing some cool moves, right? He gets beat. Austin Theory was like, yeah, I beat Pat McAfee. I've shown Mr. McMahon what I can do. Because I think this is going to this sort of mentoring thing with him and Vince is going to continue.
Yeah.
So it's going to be right. What's next?
Yeah.
We've got that out of the way. What's next?
Yeah.
Hello. So I'm gonna go with Austin.
Okay. So Jace is picking Austin Theory, and I do kind of agree with you on that a little bit. Like he's young, up and coming, and we're going to talk about it later. I don't know if we'll have time today, but in the next couple of weeks we'll be talking about it because we kind of want to air our grievances with the wrestling productions and the fans. Steve and I have been talking about it. Jace, we'd like to hear you as well, and if Rach wants to join us, or if Austin or whatever wants to join us. We really want to have our piece. Booby Lashley will win, says Rach.
Booby.
Booby. Okay. All right, Rach.
That's what, you look at Big E. Big E used to have man boobs.
Yep. He still technically does. They're big. Yeah. But anyways, okay, so Jace is going with Austin Theory. Steve, who are you choosing?
Austin Theory as well.
Okay.
Normally I'm like not really for the celebrity winning, unless you're Johnny Knoxville, but
yeah.
But I mean, it's gonna be a match. Pat McAfee's gonna surprise him.
Yep.
But I think it's just another setup by Vince to get McAfee beat up for attacking Theory.
Yeah.
So maybe I wouldn't be shocked if they had McAfee win just because of WWE, but he's a former NFL punter and a commentator. I think that's all he needs. He doesn't need a push, just like Jason was saying.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right.
A way to get Austin Theory over at the biggest stage. I mean, sure, that's all you need.
Yeah.
And that's it.
All right. So Jason.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. So yeah, you are kind of right. Yeah. I mean, Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee doesn't need the push. Although I'm gonna go with Pat McAfee for this one. Because you know what? I think all this teasing and taunting that Austin Theory's been doing and everything else, I think this could be a good time for them to let Pat McAfee, I can't even say his name right, Pat McAfee win and, knock Austin Theory down a couple notches, just for story's sake. You know what I mean?
A bit of humility.
Yeah, a little bit, right? And then maybe that's what Vince is hoping he'll learn. And who knows? Like Vince could come out and do the same kind of thing that they did with Kevin Owens or that they did with Seth. You never know, right? So, that's my pick. And again, Jason, Steve went Austin Theory, and we'll wait for a second or two for Rach to get hers in.
Can I just ask?
Yes.
There's no Entree the Battle Royale.
That's on. That's tonight.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a bit.
Oh, that's in NXT, is it?
No, it's tonight on SmackDown.
Oh, right. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, okay. I got you.
Well,
because WrestleMania, sorry to cut you off, but WrestleMania was so big this year that they actually split it into WrestleMania Raw and WrestleMania SmackDown now. So now a lot of the matches that couldn't make it are going to be on Monday and Friday.
Right, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And also WrestleMania Backlash and whatever else they want to use the word wrestle, even though they hate the word wrestle.
Right. Don't use the word wrestling, but we'll put it on the Wrestling Federation and wrestling this and wrestling that.
And the biggest show, WrestleMania, whatever.
Wrestling.
All right. Oh, I don't care about this match. Pat McAfee. Okay, so Rach is going with Pat McAfee.
Well, we got, night two's a bit more of a mixed bag, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
With our predictions.
Okay, Now, so that's it for the WrestleMania predictions. That's all the matches, night 1 and night 2. Now, I'm going to quickly go through it, and Jace has got it all written down, and we'll let you know what our points are at the next major prediction show, which is going to be SummerSlam. Right.
Yep.
Okay, but quickly, Steve and I are going to go through, and we're going to go through the NXT Stand and Deliver pay-per-view, which I told you earlier is at 12 noon Eastern tomorrow.
Yeah, I got to go to bed early so I can wake up and be ready for it. And get some
Exactly.
snacks going.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't mind starting at 3 o'clock today, and we'll go through the whole thing. So we'll quickly make our predictions, and then we'll get to the Hall of Fame stuff that I wanted to talk about.
I am just going to pop somewhere just for a second while I'm still doing that.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yep. Okay, Steve, the first match I have is LA Knight versus Gunther. I picked LA Knight.
One thing is I'm going with Gunther, but LA Knight, I know this is controversial, but I think he's like the next Steve Austin on the mic. He's got the country voice. He knows where to lay the Smackdown. The Smackdown. He's like a mix of The Rock and Stone Cold on the mic, and I think he's going to develop. But I think Gunther is just right now. He's just too strong story wise and just all that. So I'll have LA Knight losing, but he'll put up a hell of a match.
Okay. And Rach, if you want to give in your predictions as well, sweetheart, you're welcome to do that. What the? Okay.
He's possessed.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Jace, I think your lights are possessed in your living room there. They went all flashy.
Oh no, his door's moving. Oh, now his camera's out. Oh no.
Are you okay?
It's like messing about.
Okay.
It's a shame it's gone past 12 o'clock. Because otherwise that would have been a good April Fool's.
Oh, it still is for us, so it works.
Yeah.
If you can't do it, you can't do it after 12 o'clock. Otherwise, you get chucked in a lake or something.
Oh,
well, it's only 10 o'clock your time, so you're good.
No. I mean midday.
Oh, midday. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So Steve went with Gunther. I went with LA Knight. And Rach, if you want to give your prediction, you're welcome to. Jace, if you, I don't know, but okay. So next match I have is Tommaso Ciampa versus Tony D'Angelo. So I am going with Tommaso Ciampa for that one.
I will go with Tomato Camper as well.
Tomato Camper. All
it's
right.
his last NXT match. Yep. Now, I don't know if he's retiring, but I know he's leaving NXT. That's all I know. So,
yeah.
Yeah, and Tony D'Angelo needs to take the loss because that's why Pete Dunne is now called Butch.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get, with the puns here, this will be Tommaso Ciampa's fairy tale ending, right? So, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah. Will it be his Stormio day?
I don't know, but all I know is that when he gets called up to the main roster, he better just be called Tomato.
Yep, yeah. Tomato Camper.
There was
he's just going to be called Ciampa.
Rumor going around that he was going to be called something like Marioni Pizza, something or other.
Oh, marinated pizza.
I don't know, but something weird. I thought, really.
Yeah, marinara pizza. All right. The next match I have is the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship, which is Toxic Attraction versus Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. My pick was Raquel and Dakota.
Well, I'm all for the big dog. The big dog, Dakota Kai. Kai.
So you're going with Raquel and Dakota?
She's the big dog. She's got to win this, right? They just reunited after a year. Threw away the whole rivalry,
Right.
And they're back. Best friends are back. I think this is it. Toxic Attractions had the titles way too long.
Yep.
I mean, maybe not way too long, but long enough.
Mandy Rose, though, dude.
No.
Yeah, what about her? she's got that John Cena chin, man. I don't know what you're talking about. But
John Cena chin. Okay.
Yep.
She's got the John Cena chin.
The
Every time I look at her, I think of John Cena with boobs, man. I can't do it. But,
Okay.
Although it is cool right now that the champions are Mandy and Dolph going back to the Otis and Dolph deal. That's cool.
Yeah.
But no, I'm going with the big dog and Raquel.
Moving on.
Right.
We're moving on.
All
We're
right.
never going to be able to look at that woman the same way twice now.
All right, Steve ruins it for everyone. No, I'm just joking.
I made it better.
Yeah.
I just gave our show 2 extra stars. Because now I got a spitting image of John Cena on Mandy Rose's body. So there you go.
Hey!
Shush!
Shush!
All right.
Why are you laughing like Seth?
If my neighbours start knocking on my wall in a minute, tell me to shut the fuck up. You know why?
Oh man,
I love it.
I'll blame you.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Next match I have is the NXT Tag Team Championships, which is going to be Imperium versus the Creed Brothers versus MSK. My pick is the Creed Brothers.
go Imperium.
Imperium? All right.
I don't really have any stock in that match, so I'm just going to go Imperium.
Yeah.
We'll finally find out who did it.
Exactly, right?
It was me, Austin.
Why, Vince? Why? Okay.
It was me, Austin.
That's
WrestleMania.
The North American Championship ladder match is going to be Carmelo Hayes versus Santo Escobar versus Solo Sika versus Grayson Waller or Grayson Walla. And Cameron Grimes. My pick is Solo Sikoa.
You know, as much as I love Carmelo, and I've been following him since before he was even in the WWE Performance Center. Been following him back when he had 1,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
I gotta go with Moneybags. I gotta go with my boy Cameron Grimes, man.
All right.
He's been dedicating all this stuff to his father. He's been like everything for his father, getting emotional. They gotta give it to him, man.
Yeah.
Also the fact that he didn't win his first match and then he got through in this second chance thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good match, actually. We watched that. It was really, really good. I got in at the end of it. Okay. NXT Women's Championship will be Mandy Rose versus Cora Jade versus Io Shirai versus Kaylee Ray. My pick was Cora Jade.
I will, as much as I want Cora Jade to win. I'm gonna go Cora Jade. All right, I'm not saying I'm not, but I feel like I'm more biased because I'm kind of like a huge fan of her right now.
Mm-hmm.
But if anything, I could see Io taking it back or something. But I would like Cora to win, and that's what I'm picking just because of the rivalry with
Mandy.
Yeah, and Toxic Attraction in general, because I believe wasn't she partners with Gigi a year ago or something, right?
Yeah.
So it would be kind of like a payback thing. Because I feel like Toxic Attraction, they need to get called up, just not because of, they haven't been in NXT long, but really the women's roster has been cut so much over the last year that they'd fit perfectly on one of the shows.
Yeah.
And like I was saying earlier with the Smackdown tag teams, that or was it Raw? I think whatever.
Smackdown, I think. I don't remember. Anyway.
I don't remember. Whatever the Fatal 4-Way, I think that's Raw, but I don't remember. Yeah, it's Raw. But a lot of the teams in that match are just kind of made up teams because they didn't have anyone to do anything with, right?
Right.
So I feel like Toxic Attraction getting called up would be huge for that. So that's why I think they're all going to lose their titles. And then maybe they could show up at Mania and beat somebody up. Because think about it. Naomi and Sasha win the titles. The Toxic Attraction shows up and beats their ass at Mania, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Something like that.
Well, obviously, Mandy's already been in the main roster, so she knows what it's like.
Yep, absolutely.
And I know, obviously, you've got the storyline aspects where she's the leader of these three.
Yep.
But I do wonder if she is actually acting legitimately as a mentor to help these women come up through.
Could be, yeah.
Right? Yep. And so, what better way to get them on the main roster than to carry on as they are?
Yep.
You know, yeah.
Because she was brought up through Absolution, and now she's doing the
Yep.
same thing with her new team, right? So
yeah. Okay, so Steve and I both going with Cora Jade. I really like Cora Jade too, by the way. I think she's cute.
She's a little rock star.
Exactly. Okay, and the last match for that will be Dolph Ziggler versus Braun Breaker for the NXT Championship. My pick is Braun Breaker.
Yeah, I have to agree. And now that we know that the Steiner brothers are getting inducted to the Hall of Fame, I think this could be a moment that not only does Braun defeat decorated champion Dolph Ziggler, and get his title back.
Braun is
Rick Steiner's son.
Rick Steiner's son, yeah.
Yes. I think this could be perfect. Go ahead.
I was gonna, go on.
No, you go on.
I was just gonna say, you can, even before I knew, I thought Rick Steiner.
Yeah.
Just his.
Just looks like
sort of mentality. Well, he's got the look, the mentality. He's got that kind of attire anyway that he wears.
Yeah.
Right. I'd love for him actually to sneak a little bit of the old dog face grumbling in there now and again.
Yep. I would love for them to be at ringside for him. You know,
Rick Steiner was always my favorite of the two brothers.
Oh, I think that goes for everybody, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's the predictions for that.
I still got a couple things to say. But like I said, after the match, it could be a thing where he gets the win, and because of the Steiner brothers are being inducted, he could, change his name. As much as I love Braun Breaker, and I think it's a sick name, he could pull the Steiner name out.
Yep.
As kind of a tribute. I don't know if he will, but that could just be something they do.
Yeah. Because doesn't he do the Frankensteiner as a move anyway?
He does, and they were already calling him by name before they even announced the inductee.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So no, I've met Scott, sort of. But we had a big signing of Impact Talent. This was when Mick Foley and all that were on there.
Nice.
And all Scott was doing was cheering blooming Kurt Angle's ear off.
Yeah.
And AJ Styles had just sat like this, looking absolutely bored out of his skull.
Yeah.
Because Scott Steiner giving it, because they were sat all right next to each other.
Yeah.
It's like, shut the hell up, Scott. Nobody cares.
Exactly. Alrighty, so those are our predictions. What's that?
Holla, if you hear me.
Oh, yeah. We can't hear you because you've been talking too loud.
Well, it's either that or he's spanking Stacy, so it's one or the other.
One of the two, yeah, exactly. One of the many things he's known for.
Yes.
Big Papa Pump.
Yeah. So those are our predictions for both the NXT Stand and Deliver and WrestleMania 38 1 and 2.
Yes.
So that's the end of our predictions. We are now going to go to the news. And we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about. Yeah, I know, right?
Do you mind if I use the restroom real quick?
Absolutely, because I'm going to be.
I've been holding it since the Giant Knoxville discussion, so.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Okay, so we're going to talk a bit about the Hall of Fame. And if you have never seen one of these Hall of Fame inductions, it's not exactly the most exciting show, but it's awesome to watch. This year, I'm really interested in it because I'll tell you who the nominees are, and then we're going to talk about who each nominee is, what they've accomplished, and everything else. And I'm going to have each of our my fellow co-hosts talk about their memories of this person, stuff like that. Not spend too long in it because we're already in it for 2 hours now. So
that's all right. I don't mind.
Yep. Okay.
I'm not doing anything much tomorrow, so it's all good.
We're going to get to bed early after this is over. So
one thing I was going to say was Rach. If you're still here, I'd like to hear from you as well a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're still here, hon, hopefully that ear's feeling a little better. But we'd love to hear what you have to say about all of this. But okay, so the Hall of Fame inductees for this year, and this is why I brought it up this year, because I think these people, well, most of them, to me, I think they're all really deserving, mind you, but a couple of them we kind of questioned. Okay, so anyways, the first one being the Undertaker.
Yep.
He is going to be inducted by Vince McMahon.
Yep.
Now, we all
Which
know
makes
how
sense.
much Vince loves The Undertaker, and Undertaker loves him. They're like brothers. And Undertaker's kind of worried because he's thinking Vince is going to pull a prank on him.
Wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
Oh, I hope they help Rach. That's awesome. So he's afraid that Vince is going to pull a prank on him. So he's a little worried because that's, if anybody Vince liked to play pranks on, it was The Undertaker. And Vince is a big prankster. He's a big kid himself. So I love it. So the next one is Vader, who's going to be inducted by Mick Foley.
Oh, yeah, cool. That makes sense. Yep.
Yep, the hardcore champion himself, Cactus Jack, Dude Love, and Mankind.
Yeah.
The next one, which we kind of questioned at the beginning, but I did kind of find a little bit about her, so I do kind of understand, is Queen Sharmell. Which, if you don't know who she was Booker T's wife. She is married to him in real life, and like I said, we'll talk a little bit more about each of these inductees in a bit. The next ones are going to be the Steiner brothers. Now, there is no one listed yet as to who's going to induct them, so I guess we'll find out tonight. And the last one...
It could be Braun.
It could be Braun, yeah. Chad Gaspard will be receiving the Warrior Award. And like I said, we'll talk a little bit more about each of these people, so you'll learn a little bit more about why they were inducted and everything else.
I'm happy for Chad Gaspard, though. I'm really happy.
Oh, yeah, I am, actually. Once I found out more about him and everything else, I'm glad he's getting this. So, okay. So the first one that we're going to talk about is...
That's not that many, though.
That's it. And I think it's a lot to do with COVID. Now, they did say Batista is going to be inducted, but not until next year, because Batista is busy. So he wants to be there for the ceremony. And the only time he could be there is if you booked it like a year ahead. So he's already booked it. He's going to be inducted to the 2023 Hall of Fame.
Well, it was supposed to be 2021, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and then
but because of COVID and movie shoots and everything. So
Undertakers might take up a lot of the time.
Yeah,
because there might be multiple people like doing speeches for him.
So anyway, okay. Well, perhaps it's because it's so star-studded.
Yeah,
they know the speeches are going to be long.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah.
So,
All right. So the first person we're going to talk about is The Undertaker. Okay. He was born on March 24th, 1965. So he's 50. Excuse me. He has just turned 58 years old. His birth name is Mark William Calloway, and he began his career in 1987 working for WCCW and others. He was a oh my gosh, my English today. Forgive me, guys. He was a USWA Unified World Heavyweight Champion. He worked with WCWA Texas. He was a heavyweight champion there. He signed with WCW in 1989 as Mean Mark Callis. He signed with WWE in 1990, and he won the Best Wrestling Observer Newsletter Award for Best Gimmick 5 years in a row. And he used the American Badass persona in 2000. He resurrected the dead man in 2004 and retired in 2020 after 30 years with WWE.
Yep.
His ring names during his career were Kane the Undertaker, Commando, Mean Mark Callis, Mean Mark, Dice Morgan, the Master of Pain, the Punisher, Texas Red, the Undertaker, American Badass, and the Phenom. His title reigns and trophies included WWF WWE Championship 4 times, World Heavyweight Championship 3 times, Hardcore Championship 1 time, World Tag Team Championships 6 times, WCW Team Championship 1 time. He won the Royal Rumble in 2007. He's being inducted this year into the Hall of Fame. He's the undisputed WWF number 1 contender tournament that he won in April of 2002. He won a Slammy Award 15 times. He has won a Wrestling Observer Award 12 times. and he won the Igor Award in the year 2000. He has wrestled 2,441 matches. He has won 1,874 matches. He has lost 524, and 93 ended in draws. We know I watched the early career of the Undertaker when he was first brought in and before he was the Undertaker. Seeing him wearing actual trunks instead of the pants and the whole outfit that we're used to seeing him in now, it was quite the change to see him go from that. But this persona of the Undertaker he just became it. He lived it. He did a phenomenal job with it. Watching him grow as I grew up, I was always afraid of his character.
Yeah.
And everything else, and learning about his life when he did that story called The Last Ride, learning more the other night when we watched on Evil his Undertaker character and stuff like that, was just a whole lot of eye-opening stuff that we didn't know. But I'm going to go with Steve first, since we went with Jason first for most of the predictions. We're going to go with Steve first. What are your greatest memories and things that you liked and remember about The Undertaker?
Well, I, as you know, with my age, I started watching him probably around when he started transitioning to the American Badass. It was the end of the ministry, corporate ministry, into the American Badass, and then now, from now on.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when he tag team with Kane for the first time, like when he was the American Badass. I think they did before, but when he tag team with him as the American Badass, and this is like right before Kane took the mask off, so I think 2001. I'm like, these dudes are scary because like my mom used to tease me because I was scared of his eye roll thing. Sometimes, I remember one time she took a nap and woke up, and she looked at me with the eyes back, and it scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
That's just the thing, right? Like, he's one of those stars that it's so impactful, and he's just so scary that even if you have someone that doesn't know wrestling, there's a huge chance that they know about Undertaker. And I just remember when he won a world title, because there's arguments nowadays that if someone hasn't won a world title, they haven't done anything in their career, which sure, it could be true, but the Undertaker was the kind of person that you didn't need to win a bunch of championships. Because he didn't win a ton in WWE.
Yeah.
But his impact was his Mania streak.
Yeah.
And I remember when I watched, my most significant memory was when he and Triple H had that match in the Hell in a Cell at Mania. Yeah. And it was the end of an era match. Shawn Michaels, special guest referee. Shawn Michaels sitting there bawling his eyes out because, he respects the Undertaker and Triple H is his best friend. And just watching him and Triple H tear each other apart and then just hug at the end.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great time because that retired Triple H, which he still came back, but officially, he came back as more of a legend. But that retired Triple H, Shawn Michaels was done, and Undertaker was pretty much at the end of his bits there too.
Yeah.
Just would never forget that match because that was just so impactful. Because that makes a generation right there. That match alone is what it really was the end of a generation.
It was.
And, it was such a good match, and I mean, I go back and watch that match probably 6 times a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
From beginning to end, even entrances. It's just, it was
the
one time I ever was okay with Triple H losing.
Two of the biggest personalities in WWE at the time, too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, by far. All right, Rach says, one of my favorite Undertaker memories is when he beat the crap out of Kamala at SummerSlam 1992 at Wembley Stadium. Oh, I remember that. I used to love Kamala too, and that was really good match. That was a tremendous match back in the day when they actually wrestled. But yeah, and those, I do agree with you, Steve. That match between him and Triple H was another one that has to go down in the history books as one of the best matches in the world.
I'll have to go back and watch that match sometime soon.
Yeah, definitely.
on
We can do that
Peacock.
together if you want. Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. Jace, your favorite memories and best things that you liked about the
Oh,
Undertaker.
cracky. Well, I mean, I didn't probably start watching American wrestling properly until 98, maybe.
Okay.
Right? Because my mum and dad always refused to have cable TV.
Right.
Right? So I had to wait till I moved into my own place and got it that way.
Yeah.
And I started watching stuff like WCW Worldwide and all the rest of it.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I was ever scared of the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Wary of what he might do next. Yes, because he was quite unpredictable. We didn't quite know.
Yeah.
And I've always liked this. You know, I like Kane, right? I like Mick Foley because they all had that kind of. What are they going to do next? And you know, with the Attitude Era,
they go anywhere.
They really pushed the envelope with what they could get away with. Really, really did. Some of it was a little bit on the sick side, should we say?
A little bit.
Yeah, you know, a little bit too far sometimes.
Well, hell, they hung Big Boss Man off the cage, right? So,
yeah,
you know, yeah. But no, I did like the corporate ministry, not the fact that Vince was behind the whole thing, bloody blah. But I did kind of like that, you know, the Ministry of Darkness, and because again, they did some very, very elaborate things. The whole sort of sacrificing Stephanie McMahon and all the rest of it.
That was,
you know, that was pretty.
They tested the limits. Yeah.
You know, she was basically up there, and you know, she couldn't do anything. So you had things like that. Obviously, I'm going to say this, and you know, I can't really talk about it, but it hasn't already been said.
Yeah,
is obviously the Hell in the Cell match between Mick and the Undertaker, which was incredible.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the fact that Mick was able to basically make the Undertaker do a double take, which if you look and you watch the match, it's like, how the is he able to get back up? You know, and when it wasn't like in character, well, you know, when it was in character, but he was legitimately like crap, right? And the chemistry those two had in that match was amazing.
Yeah,
the best Hell in the Cell match ever, maybe not, but it was amazing, right?
Yeah.
And I remember seeing that. I love the American Badass.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great way to change the direction of the character. You knew he was always going to come back to the main, you know, hat and the coat and all the rest. You know it was going to happen eventually.
Yeah.
But it gave him a chance to sort of stretch his wings a little bit and do something that I don't think people expected.
Yeah.
Love the Brothers of Destruction. Absolutely love that. Great tag team.
Yeah.
They did some amazing stuff as well. And I think that was back when the tag team division was a little bit lost.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Right, because then, you know, you'd had all the Hardys and the Dudleys and all the rest of it.
Yeah, so and it was kind of transitioning into a new era of tag teams. Yeah,
if I'm getting my history correct, the timeline. Yeah, I know the all right. A lot of people didn't like it, but the whole it must have been because you had the bit with the Dudleys being there when they buried the Paul Bearer.
Yeah,
like, a lot of people didn't like that, but I thought it was kind of cool because it said that if anyone's going to be the destructor of Paul Bearer, it's going to be him. No one else is going to get to do it, right? You know, and all these various things that he did, you know, that he was doing. Like, I'm trying to think of a good example.
Yeah,
it's just some of it was quite freakish, and he, you know, his wrestling, like you said about the streak.
Yeah,
the mate, right? Okay, not all of them, but the vast majority of them were bloody good matches.
Oh yeah.
The ones with Triple H, the ones with Shawn Michaels, right? Was it Jeff Hardy he faced at WrestleMania one time, or was that a different event?
I can't.
I know they certainly faced each other. I think that was a ladder match.
I think so, but he also faced Brock Lesnar too.
Yeah,
he also had a very surprisingly good match against Shane at Mania too.
Yeah. It was the fact that because the way he treated Jeff Hardy with respect once the match was finished. Yeah, Taker versus Fake Taker. Yeah,
yeah.
I saw that. I saw that actually not too long ago.
Yeah.
It was only
I liked Undertaker versus Mini Undertaker.
That was good too. When they had all the midgets in, I used to love that. I miss all that.
Yeah. No, so many memories. Talk all night about them, but he's I think I pretty much from the first moment I sort of saw his character, I liked him.
Yeah.
He certainly grew on me more the more I watched.
Absolutely.
They always talk about Jeff Hardy being an enigma.
Yeah.
Right? But he in himself was an enigma.
Mm-hmm.
Very
sort of enigma within an enigma.
Yeah, you didn't really cotton on to what was going on in his head.
Yeah, and you have to wonder with all the and you have to wonder with all the injuries too that he was going through, and the fact that he just kept pushing, kept coming back.
Yeah.
You're not
I'm glad. His career towards the end, it fizzled out a little bit, but they did do the cinematic match with AJ, which worked.
Yeah, it did work, and I think the match where it started to show was when he was versus Brock Lesnar. He had a concussion, and he didn't remember the wrestling. He didn't even remember going out there.
Oh, so
he didn't remember the entire match because of the concussion.
The match with Goldberg,
Yep.
That But I think that was that because I think that was the last match, wasn't it? Was the cinematic match?
Mm-hmm.
If I remember correctly, that was his last proper match.
Yeah, the Boneyard match was his last match.
Yeah. That sort of said, okay, he's had a few hiccups getting to this point to his retirement, but now, that's nice. It works. Boom, done.
Yeah.
So but he's like a lot of wrestlers. He didn't really want to stop.
No, and I mean, this part is all they know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I know. He himself, would probably still want to be going now if he could.
Yeah.
If he was physically up to doing it, he'd want to still be going now.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But I mean, if he was physically up to doing it, I don't blame him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If he could do, I mean, look at Sting. He's still going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I do agree with you. There are so many memories that we could talk about tonight. And The Undertaker has given us a lot of things to remember, a lot of great times, a lot of scary times. Yeah. He's given us chills and goosebumps upon goosebumps. I am glad that they're finally inducting him, but I'm also finally glad that he's retired. And he is not coming back for another match.
No.
I don't want him to. I think he left us with a tremendous legacy.
I don't think Michelle would let him.
No, I don't think so either.
No. So. And I'm glad those two got together. I never had a problem with Sarah. I never know why they split up for, right? Yeah. But Michelle,
she's been a blessing for him.
She has, yeah. She got him through the different. Obviously, I was having some very difficult moments.
And his little girl is just as tough as he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know. You never know one day.
Yeah.
Right? The legacy of the dead man continues.
Exactly. So live on, Undertaker, in the minds and hearts of everybody in the wrestling world.
It's going to be interesting to see what he has to say.
Yeah, I can't wait till tonight.
Yeah.
So, okay, the next person that is on the list to be inducted was Vader, and I have to do it. Steve's probably going to do it too, but it's Vader. It's time. It's Vader time. Sorry. I had to do it, even though it might have sucked and sounded stupid. I don't care. But Vader, otherwise known by the name Leon White, was born May 14th, 1955. He passed away, unfortunately, June 18th, 2008, at the age of 63 due to heart issues and pneumonia. His in-ring names were Big Van Vader, Vader, Baby Bull, and Bull Power. He was a professional football player turned professional wrestler.
You sound like Riddle.
I know.
Wrestler, Wendy,
Wrestler.
Wendy.
Stop it. He wrestled in New Japan Pro Wrestling, WWF, WWE, WCW, AJPW. He was well loved and regarded in Japan, and he was known as one of the greatest super heavyweight wrestler of all time. Vader's diving moonsault was voted best wrestling maneuver of 1993 by Wrestling Observer. He was drafted to Los Angeles Rams in 1978. In White's first season, the Rams went to the Super Bowl and he earned an NFC championship ring and then was forced to retire due to injuries. He wrestled, like I was saying before, in AWA, CWA, New Japan Pro Wrestling, WCW, UWA, UWF International, WWF. He created Pro Wrestling's... I can't remember what it was called now. Anyway, sorry, I have it written down later. TNA, Jersey All Pro, and Impact Zone. In New Japan Wrestling, his titles and accomplishments were Triple Crown Heavyweight Championship 2 times and World Tag Team Championship 1 time. And he won the Champion Carnival in 1999. In CWA, he held the CWA International Heavyweight Championship 1 time, CWA World Heavyweight Championship 3 times. He won the CWA Bremen Catch Cup in 1987. In IZW, he held the IZW Heavyweight Championship 1 time. In New Japan, he held the IWGP Heavyweight Championship 3 times. He was the IWGP Tag Team Champion 1 time. He won the Super Grade Tag League with Tatsumi Fujinami, and he won the IWGP title tournament in 1989. Pro Wrestling Illustrated voted him the Wrestler of the Year in 1993. He was number 2 on the top 500 list of singles wrestlers in 93. He was 27 of the top 500 singles wrestlers in 2003. And in 2003, he was number 36 of the top 100 tag team champions with Bam Bam Bigelow. He created Pro Wrestling Noah. He held the GHC Tag Team Championship 1 time and won the GHC Tag Team Tournament in 2001. In Tokyo Sports, he won the Best Tag Team Award in 1998 with Stan Hansen.
Yep.
In UWA, he held the World Heavyweight Championship 1 time. In the Union of Wrestling Forces International, he held the Pro Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship 1 time and won the Best of the World Tournament in 1994. In WCW, he held the World Heavyweight Championship 3 times, the United States Heavyweight Championship 1 time, and he won the Battle Bowl in 1993. In the WWF, he's being inducted into the Hall of Fame. He won a Slammy Award for Crime of the Century for assaulting Gorilla Monsoon. And the Wrestling Observer voted him Best Heel in 1993, Best Wrestling Maneuver in 93, Most Improved Wrestler in 1999, Wrestler of the Year in 1993, and he was voted into the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame in 1996. He's had 405 wins, 211 losses, and 31 draws. So that's Vader. Now, he is well known for his entrance. in the WWE, WWF. It was quite the career. We always knew when he was coming out. And the most memorable part to me was just all of his matches kind of just were amazing. So I can't pick one, but it was when like his mask always pressed down on his nose, and it always kind of made me giggle when he came out with this mask where his nose was pressed up against his face like that. And I couldn't imagine how comfortable that must have been for him. But he was a big man, and he was surprisingly agile for how big he was. He was kind of like a Braun Strowman of that age. He was fast. He could do flips. He could, he was really, really good. And the moonsault, like I said, was one of his best moves. So Jace, we're gonna go with you first. Okay. What are your best memories and stuff about?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I didn't get a sort of see a lot of Vader really. Mm-hmm. Most of what I've seen is sort of recap stuff and then what have you, simply because the time I came into it, I knew of him.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever actually seen the match.
Right.
But one thing that sticks out in my mind is, I don't know if it was in New Japan or not, but he had a match, again, going back to Mick Foley, I'm sorry, but Mick's been involved in a lot of good stuff with other, well-respected things. And to me, it makes perfect sense that Mick is inducting him.
Yeah.
Because they did have quite a big feud. But
absolutely, yeah.
It was the match where Mick Foley got his head stuck in the ropes and he lost his ear.
Yep.
Right? And Big Leon nearly lost his lunch.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever. I may have seen it. I can't honestly remember.
Yeah.
But was it New Japan?
I think so. I can't remember exactly.
It wasn't on TV. I don't think it was on any of the normal TV shows or anything. It might have been a pay-per-view, but I really can't remember. Rach probably knows. But although I don't remember the match itself, I remember hearing the tales of it and all the rest of it, and thinking, the fact that they were able to both of them were able to carry on with the match and finish it, and all the rest of it. I do remember him coming on with Harley Race.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
that was always good when they come out. Those two come out together. Those two worked so well together. He was the perfect manager, really.
Yeah.
Didn't Bobby the Brain Heenan do something with him as well?
I think he was his manager for quite a while.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
As I said, my memories of him are quite sketchy because, as I said, I never really got to see much of him. But I do remember him being quite intimidating.
Yeah. Pay-per-view, we're talking about. He's talking about the one when Vader and Mick Foley were wrestling and Mick got his head stuck in the ropes and lost his ear.
Because he was trying to get out and couldn't.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a pay-per-view match. It might not have been. It might have just been a regular New Japan match. Yeah. Right? As I said, it's not one that I've ever... I'd love to find it and watch it properly.
Yeah.
Right? It's gruesome, but...
we can look it up and we'll find it.
Yeah. I honestly can't remember.
Yeah.
But no, as I said, I don't have a lot of memories of the guy, but I know of him. One of my friends was a massive, massive supporter of him. Absolutely loved him. So much so that we used to do a wrestling fed.
Yeah.
Where you pick what you can either make up a character or you pick an established character. And my mate would always play as Vader.
Yeah. Oh,
absolutely.
Awesome.
And again, with the Harley Race coming out with him and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing. Yeah, Rach knows what I mean. Yeah. But it was just
can't remember the name of it.
I know that him and Mick did have a big feud, didn't they? On and off over the years.
Oh, yeah.
So, it makes perfect sense for Mick to be... Because Harley Race is long gone, isn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know when he passed away, but that was quite a while back now.
I can't remember now,
No, but, he would have been the other logical choice.
Yeah.
If not from, not Mick. But, yeah, as I say, I'm not familiar with him as perhaps I should have been. But, I know he was well respected in the locker room, all the rest of it. That moonsault I'd seen him pull off quite a few times. And I'm pretty sure I did see him when he was tagging with Bam Bam, because that would have been on WCW, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Bam Bam Bigelow when they tagged together.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That was one of my favorite wrestlers too. Was Bam Bam Bigelow.
Oh, Bam was great. I loved him.
Yeah.
So awesome. But a good guy and well deserving of the getting in the Hall of Fame for definite.
Yeah. It's a hard thing. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say it's a damn good lineup this year.
Yeah, it is. And the thing is, it always makes you wonder sometimes, especially me, like I don't know about anybody else, but why it takes so long for them to induct them in the Hall of Fame.
It does sometimes,
Yeah, and it just kind of blows me away because Vader's been gone for quite a while, but it just kind of makes you wonder why they didn't induct him before that.
Because The Rock's still not in the WWE yet, is he? In the Hall of Fame?
No. So this is what I mean. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, this is the thing. Every year they come up with some new ones. And but Steve, do you have any memories of Vader or anything that you liked a lot about Vader? Because I know that when he kind of retired or changed or whatever, you were kind of just coming into wrestling at that point.
You're right. I was just getting into it, and I actually don't have any memories of Vader. Although, while he was talking, I did look up the McFoy losing his ear. It was in '94, and it wasn't a pay-per-view, but they were on their European tour, and it was a match. It was a W.
Was it New Japan?
No, it was WCW on a European tour.
Oh right, okay.
And it was against Cactus Jack, I believe it said it was.
Yeah.
So it wasn't televised then.
That might not have been.
No.
So I'll have to see if I can find someone that did record it or something. But no, I don't have any memories, unfortunately. I have gone back and seen bits and pieces.
Rachel just said, Germany 1994. Yeah.
There you go. Now for all the accomplishments though you listed, I am very happy that he's getting inducted. From the sounds of it, he should have been inducted a while ago, but no complaining, right? He's getting inducted with the Undertaker. That's pretty huge freaking honor. So
for
both of them, right?
Yeah.
So happy for him. Hope he's resting even easier now knowing that he's still being remembered and that he hasn't been forgotten.
No.
And
you can't forget a guy like you can't forget a guy like him.
Oh no.
I know.
Yeah, everybody knew him the best for the face mask, for the red and black tights that he wore, and for that intro.
Yeah.
Everybody knew it, and that's why I had to say it before we started talking about him, because that's how I used to, as soon as you hear that, the crowd would go nuts. It was like, yes, he's here, like people were saying he never ended up being a bad guy.
Yeah. I do, I can't remember where I saw, probably on the WWE network, of him coming in that weird breathing apparatus.
Yeah.
The gas mask.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like.
And I often wondered whether the Wyatt family was sort of, sending like a tribute to that.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. You never know, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he was well loved and everything else. And in Japan, they absolutely loved him and honored him a great deal for everything he did there. Jay, she's got the video posted in the group chat for you.
Oh, thank you ever so much, Rachel. I should watch that at some point. Thank you.
And I can share it with Steve, and you and I can watch it later if you want.
Yeah.
Steve.
You're a legend, Rach. Appreciate it.
So he lives on in the hearts and minds of everybody that knew him well. And I mean, I know Steve has seen little tidbits of him and stuff like that, but I'm sure we can find some old Vader stuff. It was just that theme song. As soon as you heard it, it was like hearing the breaking glass. It was like hearing the breaking glass of when Steve Austin came out.
The crowd would go absolutely nuts.
Yeah, exactly. So
every time. Yeah, he had some pretty good matches with Sting as well, didn't he?
He did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, those I do vaguely remember.
Yeah. So I'm glad that he's being inducted too, and like you said, it's fitting that Mick Foley's inducting him and everything else.
Yeah, definitely.
The next person, I couldn't find too much information on this person, and Steve and I were kind of half wondering, half not wondering why she's being inducted to begin with, but Sharmell Sullivan Hoffman is being inducted into the Hall of Fame. If you don't know who she was the Queen Sharmell by Booker's side when he became King of the Ring. She was born November 2nd, 1972 or 1970, and she is 52 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember when he had a match against the Undertaker. Yes,
I
right,
think I
do
remember
too.
that now that you mention it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good match.
Yeah.
But she's an American actress. She's retired pro wrestling valet, dancer, singer, beauty queen, and wrestler. She is wife to Booker T. She first came to prominence in the wrestling world as Storm, a member of the WCW dance troupe, the Nitro Girls.
Yeah,
And
I
she
was just going
also
to say
played
that.
a character called Paisley. She joined TNA as Charmel in 2007 and left in 2009. She fought Tammy Lynn Sitch in 2000, winning with a DDT. She was a valet for Kiwi, tag team with Tigress. Also was a Nitro Girl to fight the Misfits in Action's Valet Major Guns. Part of the music group Diversity 5 in WCW. And here are her accomplishments. She won Miss Black America in 1991. She won Wrestling Observer's Worst Worked Match of the Year in 2009 versus Jenna Maraska at Victory Road. She married Booker T in 2005, and they have one stepson that is Booker T's son from a first marriage named Brandon. And together they have twins Kendrick and Kennedy, which are a boy and a girl, and they were born on August 5th, 2010. And that's honestly all I could find about her. But she was mostly well known for being beside King Booker in the WWE as his queen when he became the King of the Ring champion.
Yeah.
And everybody loved to hate the both of them when they turned this whole storyline, but it worked. And shortly after that started to dwindle out, and Booker T kind of stopped wrestling. Charmel kind of faded into the background and let him become his commentator and do his podcasts and whatever else he does for the WWE. Which you'll probably see him when you see the kickoff show, because he'll be there on the panel.
Oh, yeah. Sucky ducky, quack, quack.
The shucky ducky quack quack moment. Oh, whatever. Anyways, I don't know. Him and his brother,
Stevie Ray.
Pardon?
Stevie Ray.
Yeah, him and his brother Stevie Ray were great together. I used to love them as a tag team, and that's how I got to know Booker first. Before he came into, and that was in WCW, but before he came to WWE. But anyways, so Charmel Sullivan, Steve, for a quick, because I know you're not really fond of this, I'll go to you first for any comments about Queen Charmel.
Well, it was cool when she did the thing on the one show on some year. I don't know. I don't remember anything about her other than Charmel. That's it. Yeah. I can give you a million things I remember at Booker T, but I can't tell you anything about Charmel. So I mean,
okay.
That's about it.
Well, thanks for being honest.
I know she did the thing that one day on that show. That's all I know.
She did the thing the one day on that show. Okay, well that works. So Jace, what do you think?
I first and foremost knew them as this person, member of the Nitro Girls, and I think from quite early on, her and Booker had a bit, had a thing going.
Yeah.
Long before they got married. I think she may have even been the leader of the Nitro Girls, but I wouldn't swear to it.
Yeah.
Because of her, her dancing background and all the rest of it. She was able to do all the choreography and all the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, a very different time.
Yeah.
That kind of thing probably wouldn't slide now.
No, probably not.
But she made that work. The Nitro Girls were over for definite.
Mm-hmm.
I mainly know her for being Queen Charmel, but she did a very good job of being the manager, because that's basically what she was doing.
Yep.
Right? And I do wonder if Booker would have got over as much as a solo competitor if she hadn't been there.
True.
Right?
True.
And also, obviously, you had William Regal, bless him, coming out doing his all hail King Booker, and being the sort of like the royal ballet or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, Hall of Fame, I kind of see it. I do kind of see it, right? Yeah. It was short-lived.
Yeah.
But she ran with it. She made it work. She did a good job out of it. Did she have many matches?
She had 1, 2, maybe 3.
Yeah,
but
not many.
I don't ever remember seeing her wrestle.
No, I don't.
That's why I couldn't find that much on.
But maybe she was kind of, because I don't know if they've got a celebrity inductee this year.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's sort of, she's midway between the two in that respect. Right. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she would have got in anyway eventually.
Yeah.
But and when you think about it, when you do these, you got to have the big names, and then you have ones that are a bit lower down.
Yep.
Of
course. Yeah.
So yeah, fair enough. Fair play to her.
Yeah. Yeah. So congratulations to her. And I'm assuming, I think I said Booker T is going to be inducting her, I think.
Yeah. He's probably pleased as punch.
It's inducted by Booker T. So
yeah.
All right. The next one, like I said, you often wonder why it takes so long for them to pick who gets inducted, but this is one I'm really happy about, and so is Steve. I'm sure you are too, Jace, and everybody, but it's about time. That's all I have to say. But I've got a list of accomplishments, so we'll go through this as well. But Rick and Scott Steiner. Now, there is no hint as to who's going to be inducting them. It could be their son, because the Hall of Fame is tonight, and then wrestle the NXT tomorrow. So he could be doing it, but Braun could do it tomorrow. So anyways, so it said they wrestled at the University of Michigan. That's when they first started getting into wrestling. They wrestled for PCW, ECW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, PWA, WCW, WWE, TNA. They separated in 1998 and reunited in 2001. And here's their list of accomplishments. They were inducted into the George Tragos and Lou Thez Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it. Wrestling Hall of Fame, class of 2014. In WCW, Scott won the World Heavyweight Championship 1 time and the NWA WCW World Television Championship. Rick won it 3 times. Scott won it twice. NWA Mid-Atlantic World Tag Team Champion. They won 7 times. Sorry. NWA WCW US Tag Team Championship. They won once. They won the Pat O'Connor Memorial Tag Team Tournament 1 time. They won the NWA Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Championship 1 time. Did I already say that? In the MAW. In New Japan Pro Wrestling, they won the IWGP Tag Team Championships 2 times. PCW Tag Team Championship 1 time. And the PWA Tag Team Championship, they won 1 time. The Pro Wrestling Illustrated voted them the PWI Match of the Year in 1991 versus Lex Luger and Sting at the Super Brawl.
Yep.
The PWI Team of the Year in 1990 and in 1993. They were ranked number 2 of the best of 100 of the PWI year in. Yeah, so the number 2 of the best 100 in 2003. The PACW Tag Team Championships 1 time. the UWF Rock and Roll Express Championships 1 time, World Tag Team Championships in WWE, WWF 2 times, and they won the Match of the Year award in 1991 versus Kensuke Sasaki at the WCW Super Show Japan in 1991, and they won in 1990 the Tag Team of the Year. I remember these guys, and my favorite memories of them is being I think it's Rick that keeps getting let out by the chain around his neck, and and like a dog face gremlin, as they called him.
Oh yeah, that's his name.
Yeah. So, and it was funny to watch. He was really good coming out, and then of course Scott with that mesh top over his head, the chainmail. It was just, they were always great. They always had a big performance. Their matches were phenomenal, and they always came out on top. They were great together. They were great on their own, but they were better as a tag team.
Yeah.
So we'll go with you, Jace, first about your memories, and then we'll go to
I can't think of a specific match as well, but I just remember when I first saw them, Scott wasn't as bulky.
No.
He had his long curly hair, right? No moustache or anything like that. And it was almost like Rick was the main one of the team.
Yeah.
And I kind of preferred that. I didn't really like the big Papa Pump gimmick.
No.
It was all right. It is what it is.
He always had that kiss the bicep.
I always thought Rick. I always thought Rick was the more talented of the two.
Yep.
I remember him. Scott had some good moves. Some good moves.
Yeah.
But he bought into the big Papa Pump character too much.
Yeah.
That was my issue. Rick always struck me as being a bit more humble.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Mental, absolutely off his rocker. The things that he do in the ring. And that's what I loved about him. He was. You probably noticed there's a pattern here. I like going for the oddball characters.
Of course,
the ones are a little bit quirky, a bit different.
Yeah.
I certainly remember them. I do remember them having the matches with Sting and Luger. That was back when Sting was regular Sting, wasn't it? Before he did have the whole Crow gimmick.
Yeah.
How many times did you say they won the WCW World Tag Team titles? I'm sure they won them a few times. I could be completely wrong.
World Television, Mid-Atlantic World Tag Team Championships, they won 7 times.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, because I do remember some of those matches.
Yeah.
Again, it was a bit of a funny time because a lot of what I saw was because again WCW worldwide, so we didn't get the full thing. We got highlights, and then eventually you started getting things like Nitro and Thunder. I think Thunder had just started, so it was a bit of a funny time for me. I remember Scott in TNA. I don't remember Rick being in there very much.
Yeah.
As I say, a lot of it seemed to be that Scott kind of took over everything and Rick was just quite happy to do his own thing and, in the end. But yeah, great. As I say, I remember them in there, the old style with all their, the singlets and, as I say, Scott with his hair and all the rest of it. That was the time I remember them.
Yeah.
And I've seen them on the old repeats of, was it WWE Superstars or something like that?
Yeah.
It was on the network anyway. I saw quite a lot of the old ones.
Superstars of Wrestling or something like that.
Yeah. So I do remember seeing them in them, and because wasn't that the era of I think they were just coming in when you had people like the Killer Bees and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yep.
So
right
that was, Yeah.
So yeah,
they made a name for themselves quite quickly, if I remember correctly.
Absolutely, they did, and I do agree with you too about Rick being kind of the more over than Scott ever was.
Yeah.
Scott was amazing, he really was, but everybody
Yeah.
seemed to like Rick's more outgoing personality than they
Exactly.
did
Yeah.
Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So great memories, Jace. I really do appreciate that. Steve, do you have any memories of the Steiners?
I got memories a lot of Scott. I never really saw Rick because
Okay.
Rick kind of went away and then Scott kind of stayed a little bit longer. Because also TNA, Scott was in TNA
Right.
too. So
Yeah.
I do remember even back to, like I was saying earlier, the Scott and Stacy time in WWE. When he was a tag team with Test, I remember that.
Yep.
One fond memory I have, again, of course, it's Triple H, is
Right.
when they had that arm wrestling match, and Triple H was trying to, because this is when Triple H was still on the roids, and he was gacked. He was ganked to the gills, right? He was,
Yep.
and yet he was giving everything to Scott, and Scott's just smiling at him, not even trying.
Like,
And then I don't remember. Then he like breaks Triple H's arm, beating him with her.
Yep.
It was a cool. I mean, I never saw Rick, so I don't really know the comparison between the two.
Yeah.
But I did see him. I saw him in TNA when, even like the Octagon ring, he was there during that too. I always thought he was cool, just this big jack dude. Didn't really make sense, the gimmick, a lot of the times, because you got this big rip dude that just didn't win very often.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
He was a good talker, a good segment guy. I never really was a huge fan of him. I just thought, whatever. I wish I would have seen him with Rick, though. From what you guys are saying, it sounds like that was a pretty badass team.
They had some good matches with Harlem Heat, didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah, those I remember vaguely, but I do remember them.
Yeah, that'd been badass.
Yeah.
I wish I could have seen that.
Those were good. Those were good matches, mate. Harlem Heat versus the Steiner Brothers.
I have to look up some of those matches.
Yeah,
and watch
definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I didn't see any Rick. I saw a decent amount of Scott, and that's about it. I mean, I didn't really, because Scott ended his WWE run early 2000s, and then with TNA till like around 2010 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I don't really. I mean, he was cool, I guess. I like the segments with him, but that Triple H arm wrestling was just so funny. It's one of the funniest Triple H memories ever.
Yeah,
just this
giant
rip dude is just getting
Yep.
torn up by Big Papa Pump. I thought that was funny,
and he's just laughing his butt off.
Yeah, he's just laughing. Yeah.
Rach says she remembers when the Steiners was the match at Halloween Havoc, which led to Abel, the Butcher, being electrocuted.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, so the Butcher got electrocuted there. So, but yeah, I do. Vaguely remember that because I didn't really have a chance to watch the pay-per-views when it came to WCW, so I kind of missed a lot of that. But yeah, definitely some great memories. And this is the thing, like, we love the Steiners, and I get where you're coming from, Steve, because your era of watching him was more of when Rick did retire, and Scott kept going for a bit. But yeah, and this is the thing, right? Like, I love hearing the generations of memories of these people. It definitely is enlightening, and it's great to know that people remember them in different ways and stuff like that. Okay, so the last inductee that we're going to talk about, and then we got some news, and then we're done, is we have...
It means I can get a nap soon before SmackDown.
Shad Gaspard. If you don't know who he is, I'm going to give you a little bit of history about this young gentleman who is going to be getting the Warrior Award at the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Now, he played basketball at Georgia Perimeter College. He was a bodyguard for P. Diddy, Mike Tyson, and others.
Yes, I remember that, yeah.
He debuted for WWE Developmental Territory Ohio Valley Wrestling in 2003 and was known as Da Beast. He's formed several tag teams in OVW with stars like Carlito, Kenny Dykstra, and the Neighborhoodie. With the Neighborhoodie known as JTG now. He won
Crime Time.
He won the
Yo,
OV
yo,
Tag
yo.
Team Championship. They debuted in WWE as Crime Time in 2006. The former faction with John Cena, known as the CTC. They left WWE in 2010, and he passed away in May of 2020 after he and a group of friends were caught in a strong current, like a strong rip current. When the lifeguards tried to save him, he made them save his son first. But by the time they got back to him, he was gone. It was too late. They couldn't find him. And unfortunately, his body wasn't discovered for 3 days. And he was 39 years old. So that is why, because he begged them to save his son first. Because he is also a former wrestler. They are giving him this award for being a hero and saving his son.
I do believe, if memory serves, he's quite a big advocate for his local community as well.
Very big. Yeah.
You know, so you know, charity work and a bit like I can't think of the guy's name, Titus.
Not on the same level. No,
because Titus obviously, you know, was because part of WWE's program, but you know, of his own. Well, basically, off his own back. You know, he did it.
I loved Crime Time though.
Yeah, they were good.
If Shadow was still alive, I think he would be close to what Titus is doing now, honestly.
Oh, absolutely.
But unfortunate things, though.
Yeah, that's the way it goes, isn't it? Sometimes.
Yeah.
But no, you know, definitely a decent bloke from all accounts.
Yeah, and this is a thing. He's well deserving of this award. You know, our hearts and prayers, even though it was in 2020, still go out to his family, because I'm sure that in him receiving this award and everything else will bring up a lot of memories for them. So we pray for the family and friends of Shad.
I suspect the family would be there, especially the son.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You know.
And this is going to be heartbreaking, but I'm glad that they're doing it. And I think they should do this every Hall of Fame, is they should induct people as in honor, you know, of the heroes of everyday life that, you know, that people take for granted. You know what I mean?
Well,
there's people that they don't do it for the glory.
Yeah.
They do it because it's the right thing to do.
Exactly. Well, the Warrior, you know, the Warrior Award has always sort of been that kind of thing. It's like, you know, the showing sort of courage in the face of troubled times, shall we say, looking out for your fellow humans, going beyond the call of duty to help people that you may never ever get to meet.
Yeah.
You know, all that kind of stuff. So it's like, you know, fair play.
Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, so that's Hall of Fame night. We have a couple little quick things I'm just going to say. And I know Jace is eager to get to bed.
Well,
Steve is eager to get to his nap.
It's only 10 to 11, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, but I've not quite a bit, but I have a few things to go through real quick. Toni Storm debuted in AEW this Wednesday.
Right, okay.
And she won the match. Who was it against again, Steve?
The Bunny.
The Bunny, which is with the Dark Order. But it was a good match. It was a short one, but it was also a really good debut for Toni. We thought it was
crying the whole time.
Dana. Yeah, Steve cried the whole time. And
no, Toni was crying the whole time. I wasn't crying.
Yeah, you were. Admit it. No, Toni cried through the whole match. It was really heartwarming to see. And good honor. We thought it was going to be Athena, otherwise known as Ember Moon, but it was not.
She'll come later for Jade Cargill. I think that's why she didn't show up.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because this is for the world title, so I think.
Yeah, they got to push that storyline a bit more. So
yeah.
So yay, Tony.
That place, yeah.
Yeah. Cody Rhodes could pull out of the match against Seth Rollins. So this is a thing that's been on the internet today. Steve alerted me to it as well. Like I said before, it was originally supposed to be Shane McMahon who was supposed to fight Seth.
Yeah.
People have put in that it's going to be Cody. There's a couple other people that have been thrown in the pot and whatever else. So I guess we're just going to have to wait and see till tomorrow who he ends up wrestling.
Yeah. See, it's this whole thing with Cody is had he definitely signed with WWE?
No one knows for it. I thought he had definitely, it was written on in stone that he had, wasn't it, Steve?
Yeah.
That's from everything I've heard, yeah.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of when and where. That's pretty much.
Yeah, because see, there was all this back and forth about, oh, he's signing, oh, he isn't signing, oh, he's signing, oh, he's signed, oh, but he hasn't signed. You know, and to be honest with you, I've got so confused with what he is actually doing that I don't know anymore. So this is why I was saying whether this is a whole ploy by AEW, and if it's not been announced on WWE TV or on their website or anywhere else, was it ever official in the first place?
I think for me, I think it might be they're waiting till after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, Steve. What do you think?
Well, I'm not really sure either.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like a Tony Khan thing to do this kind of thing, but you just don't know, right? So, because like last I know is that Cody and Jericho had issues for a while.
Yeah.
But again, as Jason mentioned earlier, that could be a work too, right? So, I guess we'll find out. Because there's also been a lot of talks that he's there, but he'll just be creative in the back, you know.
I'll tell you, I mean, there was the whole. I've had so many different things. There was something like he was going to come back, and basically he'll have his own little faction.
Yeah,
it's sort of a kind of a little bit NWO-ish.
Yeah.
Right, and he was basically, AEW kicked me out, blah 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 blah, this, that, and the other. Right, I'm not having that. I'm a founder member, and I'm going to take back what's mine, sort of thing.
Yeah.
That was a lot of what I'd heard. And this is all a big thing to sort of kind of screw with WWE a little bit.
Yeah, I think so in a way. I mean, but the Rhodes name was never a really overly liked name in wrestling either. So, I mean, we don't know what game they're playing and everything else. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
The only two people that I really ever liked were Goldie and Dusty.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah. So I guess we'll wait and see who shows up for Seth tomorrow. So
yeah, it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be a shock.
As I said, it might happen tonight.
Yep. You never know.
It might happen tonight.
Also, as Steve was saying earlier, that Asuka and Bayley have been spotted in Texas. So whether they're there to come in and, show themselves and vie for the next title shot or whatever. Yeah, or they're just there to watch. Who knows? I just, I'm glad to see Bayley around and Asuka. I'm glad to see them both around. One thing that kind of upsets me is Alexa Bliss is nowhere to be seen.
No, I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, because she was at Elimination Chamber. She was in the match. They made a special swing for her in her pod and everything. And all of a sudden she disappeared again. And even Steve has been seeing her on Twitter posting and stuff like that, going like she has no idea what's going on either and why she's not been asked to come and why things are not working the way that she was told they were going to. So I don't know what's going on with her career, but it really upsets me because I like the way she was when she was the princess, when she came up and she did her Harley Quinn thing, when she turned into this Playhouse character, whatever, when she was... I like everything she's done. She really puts her whole self into her career.
She does, yeah, very much so.
So it really is disheartening to know that they're doing this.
Maybe something that, again, it's been WrestleMania, isn't it? There could be something she's gonna suddenly turn up for some reason.
Yeah.
Right?
Or maybe they're hiding her from the public or something.
Who was it who ripped up Lily?
Charlotte.
Yeah.
So, who's to say? Right? Which would cost Charlotte the match if Ronda the win.
Yep, it could.
Right?
The thing is, though, she went through therapy, and she's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
they're doing that, and then she seemed to be better, and then all of a sudden she's just not there anymore.
She still had a Lily with her, though, didn't she?
Yeah.
They gave her another Lily.
Yeah.
So,
who knows?
Yeah.
It's WWE. They throw storylines out the window every week. So
yeah, but I mean, that's the thing. You get to storyline, and you never find out.
Yeah.
What the end was.
Yeah. 30 seconds before you go out to do a match, they change your match. Do
you remember the was it GTV that they used to do?
Yep.
Right. You never did find out who ran that.
No.
Do you remember? Because you had the things where Val Venus was taking the Mickey out of Big Show when he was having a leak.
Yep.
Stuff like that. You never found out who ran GTV.
Yeah.
You always thought it was Goldie, but no one ever said.
Yeah, exactly.
The mysterious GM. We never really found out who that was.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the thing. Like, they leave you in the dark all the time. And I mean, I do get it. Sometimes they have to. But WWE has become so predictable these days that it's almost like, okay, what? I hope they surprise us.
Yeah. I do think we will see. Yeah, I think there's going to be a couple of surprises. Maybe they may not necessarily be good surprises.
Yeah.
Right, because obviously we don't know who Seth's facing, so that's going to be a surprise in itself. Right. It might be really crap. If it's Shane, then it's going to be complete arse. But who knows? But I think we're going to see a few things that we're not quite prepared for. At least I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
What were you going to say, Steve?
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm a Shane dude, and I don't even want to see him,
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. But, I mean, this whole Alexa Bliss thing, I hope they do something for her soon, because they could lose her, too.
Well,
and I'd hate to see that.
There's quite I don't know if you've noticed, there's quite a few women that we're waiting to come back. Who's the I can never remember, the Southern Belle, whatever her name is.
Oh, Lacey Evans. Yeah, we're waiting for her to come back.
You've not seen her for ages. She's supposed to be coming back.
Yeah. Well, what's that? What's that Punjabi guy? What's his name again?
Veer?
Veer is supposed to be coming on Monday.
Right, okay.
So that was the announcement April 4th. So maybe that's an April Fool's joke too, and we have to wait another 6
weeks. As long as it's not him fighting Seth at blooming WrestleMania.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, the guy might be good. But he's not ready for a match against Seth Rollins.
Yeah. The next thing I'm just going to tell
Steve's walked off in disgust.
I know, right? He's so mad. Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Could be doing a podcast, an uncensored podcast for WWE. Now, uncensored for Paul Heyman is a big thing, but Paul Heyman's exact words are, he says he won't do it if it's not done right.
Yeah.
So we all know what he means. It has to be done, and Paul's a perfectionist when it comes to things.
Yeah.
So, so it's
one of my next purchases will be Paul Heyman in his ECW cap coming to Funko Pop. Yeah, it's old school. It's old school Paul when he had a bit more hair, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
But
So, yeah. So we'll see.
Dangerously.
We'll see what happens. I don't know what you're watching there, Steve, but we can hear it.
I'm not watching anything.
Oh, okay, because I can hear somebody's
talking. Noise in the background.
Background noise.
My stepdad might be talking to somebody.
Oh, maybe. Okay. Sorry. I thought you were watching a video there for a second.
No.
And bug you about it. How dare you? No, just joking.
That sounds like you.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I would love to see him do something with this. I mean, Paul Heyman uncensored. I mean, that gives way to so many things. So, all right. Tony Khan wants to relaunch Ring of Honor's weekly TV show. As we know,
No, he's not done yet. Then
yeah.
I thought he would have already done it by now.
I think he's working up to it. But okay. I think they have to get the time slots and the network and everything all worked out.
Yeah, fair enough. So they're just doing house shows at the moment, are they? Then effectively,
I think so. Yeah.
So they got their Super Card of Honor pay-per-view, and that's the last pay-per-view of the last I guess ROH era, and now they're gonna.
When's that then? Super Card of Honor
tonight, I think.
Yeah, I think it's tonight at 7, but we'll talk about it at the
2
end.
hours, I think.
You gave me a list.
Okay,
so.
I'll just make a note. Sorry, just to see what's going on.
Yep. Undertaker unveiled the statue of himself at Wrestlemania Superstore, and it was revealed by him. A nice big bronze statue of him, and it's huge. About 3 of the Undertaker high, or 2 of the Undertaker high. Yeah. It's a beautiful statue, though. You can see it all over Instagram and Twitter if you search that up. Also, happy birthday to Randy Orton, who turns 42 today.
Hey,
so, happy
Randy.
Hey, Randy.
Yeah, happy birthday to Randy Orton.
Hey, bro.
Happy birthday, Randy.
Happy birthday, bro.
Bro.
So he sort of says it like that, doesn't he? Randy.
Yeah.
And he says, Wendy.
Wendy. Okay, so Wyndham, as I was going to announce earlier, also signed with MCW.
He has.
And he says this about wrestling: I will always love wrestling. I couldn't imagine spending the rest of my life without stepping into the ring again and hearing that roar again. I think about it often. Everything had to be in place, though. Like is said, timing is everything.
So you know that channel that you said about It Begins Again?
Yeah.
Apparently, it's nothing actually to do with him.
It's all him, though.
But apparently it's a fan-made channel.
Oh,
because there was. I'll tell you for the reason why I understood that. It's because when they were doing the build-up for Kevin Owens and Stone Cold, there was a video on there that somebody had mixed the match bits out of WWE TV and put it together as a promo.
Okay.
So this is making me wonder whether it's actually to do with him or not. And also people were commenting about how that they were using Wyndham's name to promote themselves to get production things. However, from what I understand, the same person is working for MCW. Yeah. So it could be, although it's not Bray's official channel.
No,
he's connected with it.
Yeah, MCW does have their own channel too. So
yeah. So that's just it threw a few little things and thinking, well, is it directly to do with him or not, or is this someone that he knows doing it for him and bloody blah.
Yeah. Well, we know it's his voice in the videos too, so that's.
Oh, we know that. Yeah, that was for certain.
Yeah, I don't care. I just got to see him. That's all.
It was a good promo.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Couple more things. Excuse me. Pro Wrestling TV debuted last night in Dallas, Texas. This is the network that they were talking about. That's going to be all wrestling 24 hours a day. And it's not just one thing. It's not like the WWE network is all WWE. This is going to be all wrestling promotions. Well, obviously, except for WWE because they have their own. Yeah. But all wrestling promotions are going to have a slot on this channel. So I can't wait to see if you can order it through your local TV provider. Check it out. Ask them and see if you can get it. It should have debuted last night, so you should be able to get it. Okay, so the Ring of Honor Supercard is supposed to be tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is like in an hour for me. These are the matches that we had listed. Thank you, Steve, very much for getting these for us.
Yeah.
The Ring of Honor World Title will be Jonathan Gresham versus Bandito. The Ring of Honor Pure Title will be Josh Woods versus Wheeler Yuta. The Ring of Honor World Tag Team title match will be the Briscoes, Jay and Mark, versus FTR, Cash and Dax.
All right, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one because I like FTR as well, and the Briscoes. But there will be a singles match between Swerve and Alex Zane, which should be good. I like Swerve too.
Whose house?
I didn't know Alex Zane was still going.
Yeah,
I didn't know Alex Zane was still going.
Oh yeah. Another singles match: Jay Lethal versus Lee Moriarty.
Yep.
Tiger Style versus the Black Machismo.
Yes. Ring ROH Interim World Women's Title match will be with Mercedes Martinez and Willow Nightingale.
Let's go, Mercedes.
Mercedes, isn't that what I said?
I said, "Let's go, Mercedes."
I thought you said it's called Mercedes.
I'm cheering.
I'm just bugging you.
She helped Thunder Rose out, so she's cool.
That's right. Yeah. Another singles match will be Joe Hendry versus a to be announced partner. Ninja Mac is also another solo singles match. Will be against a unknown partner as well, but they will be with Tully Blanchard. So the World Television Championship will be Rhett Titus versus Minoru Suzuki.
That'll be a banger.
I know Rhett Titus, yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's all for that. Our Ring of Honor thing. And Steve, you said it was the last major.
It's the last Ring of Honor pay-per-view of the last Ring of, before Tony Khan's Ring of Honor comes in.
Yeah, the all new Ring of Honor, right? Okay,
which will become weekly, hopefully soon.
Yeah, because they used to do it. I think it was Sunday nights. They used to do it at like 11 p.m. or 12 p.m. They used to have their show on for an hour.
So, I hope that they get their scheduling sorted out, because that's one thing I found with Ring of Honor is you'd have the pay-per-view on before you'd seen the matches that were leading up to the pay-per-view on the weekly show.
Right.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
Because, why would you want to watch the weekly show if you've watched the pay-per-view? Because you already know what's happened.
Yeah.
I have faith in Tony Khan.
Yeah.
I do too.
I'm sure he'll do a good job, and I'm hoping this means that all this, if you like, excess wrestlers that they've got, now have a home, but also that they still retain some of the ROH originals.
Oh, absolutely! I'm sure they will.
I mean, do you know about that, Steve? How many of the ROH people they're keeping?
I think at least half the roster, but it's not like they didn't have a very big roster to begin with, because once they had
it's been a while, so I know since they've had a strong one.
Yeah. So when they announced that ROH was pretty much done and over with the last ownership, a lot of people left and went to like Impact or other places. So their roster dropped a lot, and that's why a lot of these AEW guys are filling in half the slots for the pay-per-view.
I do wonder whether we're going to get Cesaro come back to ROH.
Guess we'll have to wait and see.
Well, Vic, are you going to talk about the AEW pay-per-view? Because because I got some stuff about that coming up.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to let you. Yeah, I was going to let you talk about that in a minute.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I know. I'll shut up.
Yeah.
Go, carry
on. So that's all for that pay-per-view. It's the final one until Tony Khan takes over, and it'll be the all new Ring of Honor Wrestling. AEW's next pay-per-view is May 29th, 2022. It'll be Double or Nothing. It'll be wrestling in the Las Vegas Strip in Paradise, Nevada, which is where they usually have their Double or Nothing Las Vegas matches. And I'll let Steve take over with that news and stuff. And
well, I'm already hyped because that's my birthday week, so that's pretty sick. But so there are some rumblings going around. Again, it's just rumors, but I do have a very credible source that I get all my wrestling news from, and it sounds like AEW has high interest in Samoa Joe. And if they do their casino battle royale or ladder match, whatever one they want to do this year, he could be the Joker. That'd be the perfect time for it because that'd be way past the 90 days. That'll be it'll let him stay healthy.
He's definitely been let go then.
He's 100% gone from the company.
Yeah. I thought it probably would though because of all his injuries and everything. You see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we have CM Punk now that's going to be going for the title against Hangman. Or Adam Cole. I think they're having another rematch. But they're doing their Owen Hart Cup. They're starting that now. Like they're doing the qualifying matches to get into.
I'm interested to see that.
Yeah. And my T-shirt's in the mail.
Yeah.
I'm still in September at the moment, so
it's all good. So they're doing the qualifying matches now to get into the actual brackets.
Yeah.
And for the men's side, people are thinking that because they usually will have like a surprise entry at the end.
Yeah.
And they're thinking that Kenny Omega could come back because that'll be the end of May. Give him some time to recover.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega comes back, and then that could set up like a Kenny Omega versus like CM Punk tournament thing.
Yeah.
Or if CM Punk is champ, which I don't know if he will be, because I think Kenny will take it back from Hangman. But if CM Punk does become champ, we could get that Kenny Omega versus Punk title match. That'd be crazy. There's a lot of weird discussions going on.
Is Christopher Daniels still signing with AEW?
Yeah, he just had a match a couple weeks ago with Brian.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Right. So, because I would love. All right. Again, both of them a lot older. All the rest of it. Bloody, bloody, blah. But if Joe is coming in, Joe versus Daniels, one last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it would be great.
Yeah, right now there's no match set in stone because again that's still a couple months away, or actually it's just a month away. But it's April 1st, right? So now they're going to start the build up. They did just announce finally the Adam Cole and the Red Dragon team name. They finally have it trademarked. They debuted it. It is the Undisputed Elite.
Yeah.
So they have that now.
Ooh.
So they are the UE again. That's back.
Yep.
They are setting up a trios match, like a trios feud. And Tony Khan has said recently that he is talking about having a trios title.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe.
Because now they have the House of Black with Murphy in it now. They've got the
yeah.
They've got the Lucha Bros.
Yep.
With Pac, the Death
Triangle.
Triangle.
It's the Death Triangle.
Yep. And they've got the Undisputed Elite. They've got a couple freaking trios in the Dark Order, right? So they can do whoever they want there.
Yep.
So that's gonna be a thing. But for the women's side, I honestly think that it's gonna be like Hikaru Shida versus Thunder Rosa.
Yep.
I think it's gonna be CM Punk versus Hangman. Because I think the Owen Hart Cup tournament finals is on the pay-per-view. I don't think the winner gets the match until after. So I think CM Punk might face Hangman there because he keeps teasing that he wants to have a title match, and he don't care who's the champion.
Yeah.
So we could see CM Punk trying to get the gold. I don't know if he'll win it, but it'd be cool to have him elevate Hangman in a crazy title match. So now we got Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley as a tag team with William Regal. We can have them going for the tag title soon.
I'm so glad Williams come over.
Oh my gosh, he's in his element. He's in his element. He's not crying anymore like he was in NXT. Them making him cry to Samoa Joe. No, he's in his element. Let me go. A couple other things. They've got Bret Hart coming soon, so they can add something up with FTR on their face turn.
They are getting far too many people in, though. I'm sorry. But as cool as it is to see these names coming through, it's a bit much.
Yet they still manage to cycle through because there's still not a single former WWE guy that's champion right now. Like, that's still very impressive.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they have 4 shows, and they have, like, we watched Raw on Monday night.
Yeah.
And they had 5 matches in a 3-hour period, where AEW in a 2-hour period had 6.
Yeah, you said they've got 4 shows now.
They've got 4 shows, yeah.
Yeah, Dark Elevation, Rampage, and Dynamite.
Yeah, and then they're going to have the Ring of Honor.
So there's Dark and Dark Elevation.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Right. I thought Dark had become Dark Elevation. I thought.
So basically, what Dark Elevation is that's kind of like the veterans beating up on the new people, and then in Dark, it's kind of like a mix of like the mid carders versus mid carders.
Very confusing.
Yeah.
But I mean, you still get to watch it, and this is a thing. This is how Tony has made sure that we still get to see these young up and comers. And now he's got the Ring of Honor coming in, so there'll be 5 shows where you can see these.
You're not going to have enough time to watch it all. You're just not.
We do. Well, I mean, not everybody can, though. I do agree with you there. Not everybody's going to be able to watch every episode.
I hardly watch Dark and Elevation anymore, but I don't miss a Rampage or Dynamite unless I have to.
Like I think that's what I'm going to be doing until I'm up to date. I'll just be watching Dynamite and Rampage primarily.
Yeah,
because quite often you get told the results, don't you?
Yep.
On the ticker bar down the bottom, they tell you who won what match and the other bits. So yeah.
So I'm gonna go through this list real quick. This is from the source I follow.
To interrupt again.
Yeah, it's all good. This is from the source I follow with the predictions. I'm just gonna go through this quick, just the headlines. Like I said, Adam Page versus CM Punk, Jurassic Express versus Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson. The lead up for that is because it gives them, they're still a month away, so it gives them time to rack up wins to climb up the ladder. MJF versus Wardlow. Wardlow and MJF are having a falling out. Hardy Boys versus Private Party. The Elite versus Adam Cole and Red Dragon. So, well, it would be called just the Undisputed Elite now. So I'm not sure if that.
So Jeff has come over then.
The Hardys are their thing, yeah.
Yeah, they already had the first.
That's going to be a bit weird though, having the Hardys versus the Hardy Foundation.
It's called the Andrade Family Office now.
It's called what? Sorry.
It's the Andrade Family Office now.
Oh right, okay, fair enough.
So what happened was that they voted Matt out and Andrade took over.
Gotcha.
And that's when Jeff showed up. So.
Yeah, because they're beating up Matt, and then Jeff. Well, then Sting and Darby came out, and everyone was like, "Dude, we didn't want these guys." And then they started getting beat up because the numbers game. Then all of a sudden, freaking Team Extreme music hits, and there's Jeff Hardy. So he shows up.
Cool.
Double or nothing. We got Scorpio Sky and Paige Van Zant versus Sammy Guevara and Tay Conti. This was originally supposed to be Brandy Rhodes and Cody Rhodes in it, but now with their departure, that's not going to be a thing.
Yeah.
And Paige Van Zant did just recently sign. Hardy Boys either against Private Party or Darby Allin and Sting. I would have rather it be Darby Allin and Sting because that'd be a lot better of a match, I think. Because we never got that Sting match with Jeff because Jeff was on his drugs and all that stuff, right?
No, yeah.
When Sting saved his life. Samoa Joe in the Casino Battle Royal or the ladder match. The way to debut him. Jericho Appreciation Society versus Eddie Kingston and Santana and Ortiz. They're leading up to that right now. Yeah. Where Jericho and
I've got so much to catch up with.
Jericho and 2.0 are saying that they're sports entertainers. They're not wrestlers.
Yeah.
They beat up pro wrestlers. Serena D versus Hikaru Shida. Oh, this is the never mind. The Owen Hart Cup final is on that, right? So it'd be Serena D and Hikaru Shida. So people are thinking. Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson, like I said, against Jurassic Express. Now that the it's called the Undisputed Elite, though. They're part of the Elite now, so I doubt them facing the Young Bucks and stuff. So another prediction that could be replacing that is Adam Cole versus Kenny Omega in the Men's Owen Hart Cup tournament final.
Yeah.
Because they're both trying to have the favor of the Young Bucks. So what better way than having them, meet up at the last match? That'd be crazy. Adam Cole and freaking Hangman, or not Hangman, Kenny.
Yeah, exactly.
Jade Cargill versus Athena, which is what we've been talking about for a while. That'd be sick to see Ember Moon and Samoa Joe show up on the same night, right?
Yeah.
And then CM Punk and Hangman Page, like I was saying. These are 10 early predictions. And, I mean, they're leading up to them. CM Punk keeps calling out, whoever's the champion, I don't care, I want you.
Yeah. We'll keep you posted in every time we got news about it. Like, we'll be back in a couple of weeks with more news.
We'll have a lot more about that at that point, because it's starting to lead up. Like I said, it's May 29th is the pay-per-view. So it's a month and a half away. So it's going to start leading up pretty soon.
Yeah.
And it's my birth week, so it's going to be a pretty sick week. I got 5 freaking AEW shows in 1 week. It's going to be sick.
I love it. Yeah.
I love it. Yep.
So, well, that is the show. We are done. We are done and dusted.
Blimey.
Yeah.
Done and dusted like dusty roads.
But 3.5 hours we've been going for. So I am going to end it here. I'm going to say thank you again, Jace, for being here and keeping our points and everything for the predictions.
Yep, always.
Someone's got to do it. So
exactly. Why not? The one paper, we'll get him to take points.
I've even got my little spreadsheet ready to enter all the scores in.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. But yes, thank you so much. We do appreciate it, dude. Thank you.
That's right, no worries.
Steve, again, thank you for the AEW news and everything else.
Yeah,
we can always rely on you to make sure that we got all our facts straight for that.
Won't be missing an episode. The only time I miss AEW is when it's Rampage because of certain events like tonight. Like it's like watch a pre-tape show or watch the Hall of Fame with Undertaker. I mean, come on, right? So
well, you're be watching the Undertaker.
You can always watch the other one later, so it's not a big deal.
I just look up the spoilers, so this is pre-tape, but I guess I theoretically could. But...
I shall, as I said, I don't think I'm going to be staying up because I've got too much going on this next week, so it's just going to be a case of sit there and binge watch wrestling.
Yeah.
Nothing better.
Yeah. So, guys, don't forget, tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, NXT Stand and Deliver will start. And then at 5 p.m., the kickoff show will start for WrestleMania 38, Night 1. And then on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Night 2 of WrestleMania 38 will start. We hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Rach, for being in the chat. And I do agree they need to do more with Danhausen because I love Danhausen.
Jeff Housen.
But they need to do... but yeah, we'll see what happens in the future with him. I hope you enjoy your WrestleMania weekend. Anybody who is in the Discord who gets points and stuff like Austin or Cautious or anybody else, make sure you get your predictions in by tomorrow at 11 a.m. so that we can count your points for the weekend of wrestling. So anyways, thank you guys again, and we will see you in 2 weeks, and I will see you guys on Wednesday. God bless. Bye.